We are live.
Hi.
Hey
there,
everyone.
guys.
Painkiller already, episode 186. So,
Wow, that's a lot of episodes.
isn't it?
We got a lot of stuff to talk about
I've
tonight.
almost
I
been
do.
part of the show for half of its life. If you think about that, that's kind of freaky.
I sometimes I'll be like, guys, I don't have that many topics. I feel lined up with topics tonight. I wish we had a guest too, but whatever. Get what you get. Don't pitch a fit. That's what we teach our kids.
What, do you say it like that every time?
Get what you get. You don't pitch a fit. Yeah.
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 Get what you get, don't pitch a fit.
We had one of Hope's early friends. She's since moved away, but when she was like, whatever, 7 years old, her parents would drop off their kid with that advice. Like, Ellie, remember, you get what you get. You don't pitch a fit. And we're like, all right. And since then, we've adopted it too. So,
What's our first topic of the night?
first topic is our advertiser, Patreon.
Patreon is big news.
Not just any Patreon, our Patreon.
Our
Did you link me
Patreon.
to that, Lefty? I don't even have it in front of me.
Yes, I've got it. If you want to go there as well and you're watching the show right now, just go to patreon.com/PKA.
Yes, you'll hear us talk about it. And also, if possible, there'll be an annotation on the little Grand Theft Auto thing and a link in the description and whatever. So let's talk about Patreon. Kyle, help me.
Patreon's a big deal. This is how. So basically, it's set up sort of in a like Kickstarter fashion, so that the more you pay for your subscription every month, the greater the rewards are, and they're all rewards based around the show. So you could spend as little as $1 a month, which I think is a good amount. That's showing some effort, showing a little bit there, and you get some basic things. But you can go all the way up to $10,000 a month, where we apparently fly you out to Vegas with us and do a special episode from there.
I don't think that's a.
I don't think they're coming with us.
No, that's not how that works.
Oh, they don't even get to come?
No, they don't come with us.
It's this.
Oh.
It's this. When the collective, when everyone together hits 10 grand, we put on a special show. Like,
I mean, if you
That's
want to
right.
donate 10 G's, you want to be a patron of that. But I don't think we're going to.
But what if one person came up with the money?
we'd have to do something. I think these are flexible, by the way. Like somebody might be like, you know what? One of your things should be jump into one of the PKA Plagues games, And it was like, oh, we should figure out like how that works and make it a thing. If you guys have ideas for what you'd like, then we put it in there. And anyway, yeah.
Do we want to go through a few of them?
Yeah.
Okay, so for $1 a month, let's see. Want to hear who the guest is ahead of time? Want rock hard confirmation that the show was recorded? For $1 a month, you will gain access to the Patreon-only activity feed, where we will include special posts and pictures that can only be seen by our Patreons.
Inside scoops.
Inside scoops on PK, and also for $3 a month, what you do is you can take the show with you wherever you go. We will be putting it up. We'll be hosting it online, and patrons of $3 or more, not just $3. If you donate, if you're a higher level, you get this as well. You'll get a link after the show is done, probably Friday night if I'm really spiffy about it. And you will get a link containing where you can go to download an MP3 of that week's show before perhaps it's even up on YouTube, and certainly before it is up on an RSS feed if we hit our goal.
Yeah. For $5 a month, special updates and warnings. You get access to our special updates, warnings, behind-the-scenes conversations, a list of topics before the episode, announcements on special guest hosts, anything we decide to leak. That's $5.
For $10 a month, we've got a Patreon-only mailbox where you can send AMA questions to us, and we'll go through your questions on the show, so you get to be a direct contributor.
Direct contributor to the show for $50. This is the big one. DC's big. What?
Nothing.
What?
I think our format that's just sort of spontaneously evolved. I don't know if we should run by all these. You can see it on the page. $50
Yes.
a month, you hang out with us. $100 a month, we mention you on the show, and then $250, $500, and $1,000 are the previously established rates for advertising on the show. You get in the side, etc. So yeah, check out our Patreon. It's flippin' awesome. And if you have suggestions on what you'd like to see on the Patreon, then let us know. Keep in mind things that involve like individual host attention, like playing COD with us or something like that, has to be expensive because just the amount of like individual time it takes. I can't have, for hypothetically, if it was $5 to play with me, which is probably a fair rate, I couldn't do it with 600 people. That would be a problem. So Anyway,
But I think this is going to open up a lot of new avenues and windows and places for us to go with the show. I think with the funding we're going to get from this, we're going to do some very, very cool things.
that's the exciting thing. That's like so the like the $10 or $10,000 a month thing. Like if this thing starts pulling in that kind of money, then we can start investing back in the show with doing the show on special locations. Maybe we start like, paying for guests and getting higher level people than we've ever had before. You want to get Hodor on the show and not have him be a total bitch. There's nothing we can do about that. But
what if we got him on
there
with
might
just
be
really
other
abusive
people.
to him? That's what we'll do. If you can,
We're gonna pay him extra money to take our abuse.
we can get. You don't think? Look, I guarantee we can get Hodor with $10,000. I guarantee it. $5,000. I think we could totally get him for a show, no problem at all. And we just abuse him for an hour. And it's in his contract that he has to stay for the full hour. And the whole time we just give him shit.
But if the show starts producing income like that, then we can start moving the show on places. We can up the production quality on this thing. Maybe we ditch Google Hangouts and start doing more stuff. Maybe we see each other in person. I don't know. It would be neat if Painkiller already, instead of just became like a fun time, became a top priority. Like, and that's what this can kind of do for us. So, yeah,
There's a lot of podcasts that take their show on the road. It's really cool. Not just like the thing we have now with the Vegas trip, which I think would be freaking awesome, but taking the show on the road. Coming. The next stop for 1 month will be in, I don't know, somewhere in California, and a lot of podcasts do that, and people really enjoy it.
Yeah, like I could totally see like, all right, we're going to be in Boston. So if you're in like that New York, Boston area, come see us. We're going to go to LA. We're going to go to Denver. We're going to go to Houston. We're going to go to Vancouver. Who knows? And like do the show from there. And I think it would be a cool thing. So and that's what happens when you start having a show that's not just successful in terms of popularity, but also has some income along with it. You can invest back into it. So that I'm totally excited about Patreon. Check it out. Link in the description. Link on the side. And if you feel like you get $1 worth of fun from the show every week, then give us $1. Some of you are going to be in a position where $1 is all you can give, and some of you are going to be in a position where $50 doesn't really mean that much to you, and you can give that on a monthly basis because
Just
you
think
enjoy
what
the
I'll
show.
do with your money.
Splitting hookers.
It's weird to hear Kyle so in my ear now with
Yeah,
his
he
new
has a new
microphone.
mic. Dude, Kyle's
Yeah,
mic
got a
talk
new
is
mic.
on the list, but I have another topic I wanted to cover toward the beginning of the show. While you listen to this, feel free to click on that Patreon link and see the stuff.
Patreon.com/PK.
Kyle,
Yes.
you declared war on George Washington.
You motherfucker!
You son of a bitch!
Why'd you do that?
All right. So here's the truth.
Hold
I
on.
really-
I'm not interested in your truth. It's I took hours worth of shit for like 3 road tiles that were
man.
built when I had my worker on automated, right?
Now, if you're gonna compare how I played the game and how you played the game, then I still think that despite declaring war on Washington, which inevitably caused our downfall, I still played better than you.
Bullshit. No, your cities were spawned in a very rich spot, and as we were locating my cities, you had my settlers running left and right across the world, and then you dropped them in a desert. I could have done better without your advice.
I did. I told you to go south and get the copper, which would boost your happiness. I never told you to build all those roads and go up north. I asked you not to move north. Honestly, I told you to
Please
go.
don't yell at each other again. Please don't start yelling at each other.
All I'm
I
saying-
can't take another one.
I am the champion of collecting undeserved shit across all of YouTube, any category, and that
don't
game
know
was
why I
no
clicked that
exception. What's that?
I don't know why I clicked that button. I did not. I don't think I meant to do it. I really
You
don't.
literally cost us the game. I heard an hour worth of why do you have these 4 extra road tiles or 3 extra
And that's
road
what I was
tiles?
getting to. It only cost us the game because some of us weren't performing that well.
Are you talking about me?
Yes.
Oh, you have to be kidding. Yeah, if you look at the score thing on the right, I was in first or second just about all game long.
Yeah, but it gives you a lot of points for cities and
Because I'm
citizens.
fucking awesome.
But they weren't
That's why it
utilized
gives you.
well.
You know what it gives you points for? Being fucking awesome. That's what it gives you points for. I had wonders of the world, which is what you get points for. I had cities. My population was higher than yours throughout almost all of the game.
Science
I started.
was the
If you look
reason
at the end of it, when we needed money
culture.
to start, doing stuff, who was the guy giving money to all? Most people didn't see the end of the game. But if you go to the end of the game and you look at science production, I was higher than Lefty and I was higher than Chiz. If you look at the end of the game and you go to money production, I was higher than Lefty and I was higher than Chiz. I will admit, you in your very
They
rich,
had been at
resource,
war.
wonderful thing at top. Yeah, they were. Why were they at war, motherfucker? Right? Because you declared war on Washington, and then Lefty and Chiz got beat up. If there is a reason we lost that game, it's because you declared war on those
That's very
people.
likely. I agree.
Yet everyone points to my road tiles.
That was just funny. I mean,
Spaghetti Junction was
It
bad,
was
man.
great. I loved it. So
well, no, I mean, your roads did look like a set of boobs with a glob of semen about to drop on them, and it was really, really funny.
I
mean,
swear,
at least to me.
so it looks like there's loops all over the place, but the game just naturally connects the road tiles. And there was like an extra tile by the copper and an extra tile. There was like 3 or 4 extra road tiles that I didn't really need. And I swear, I self-assigned blame so much. At the end of that game, I'm asking myself, we only lost by 2 turns. In 2 turns, we would have had enough delegates to be world leader and win that game. And I'm asking myself, did we lose because of those 4 road tiles? Is it my fault? Did we lose because of the... No!
Wasn't that
You
close.
declared war! We lost by 2 turns.
I stumbled out of the gate because that was my first time ever playing Brave New World.
Yes,
and
me too.
I had no idea about the trade routes, and that whole thing, that whole component of the game was completely new to me, and I left it untouched, and that was a serious detriment to the team. Next time I'll be better at it. I know what to do, or at least to do it at least. But yeah, I was holding back the team that way, and I think Woody and I, our first time on Brave New World, Chiz and Kyle have been playing Brave New World for a long ass time, and Woody and I are new to it. So, I was deficient in that way, but I think we can do it again.
We'll do much
one
better.
deity level
Next
civ this time. Though.
I'll be more savvy on the whole spy thing.
Look, you learn every. That's what I'm saying. Like, I played a game 2 days later, and I learned more stuff. Every game I play, I learn stuff that I'm like, damn, I didn't even know what the fuck I was doing before. Every game you feel like that.
I
There's
hear
so
you.
much
And
to
I didn't
learn
like some
in
of
that
it.
game.
I didn't realize how much of what I didn't know was because it was Brave New World. Like I thought, oh wow, there's this stuff I never knew about. Like how embarrassing. I thought I knew this game, and then I realized I'm actually playing a much more complex game than I've ever played before. Like Lefty has a real good vibe of what's in Brave New World and what's the other one. I just assumed that it had always been there and that I didn't know what I was doing. But that wasn't. There were a lot of things that were just Brave New World. Anyway, yeah. So I learned a bunch that game. But I retain my crown as champion of undeserved shit on YouTube.
you got some undeserved shit. You got some deserved shit, and I do apologize for declaring war on Washington. I don't know. How that
just
happened.
because
The worst
you're
part was that
fucking-
Kyle was just so.
He
was so
genius
nonchalant
at
about it.
handling this, right? Like he's nonchalant. We never knew during the game, and even now he's like, right, mea culpa, whatever.
I didn't remember.
Everyone who's watching
evidence
this,
of me doing it, which I can't refute.
everyone who's watching this is like, Kyle, we forgive you. You're so wonderful. If it wasn't Kyle, you'd be nailing him to a cross. You would. If this wasn't Kyle brilliantly handling this situation, then you'd be like, get Kyle, kill the man. But instead, it's like, Kyle, we forgive you. It's no big deal. So you declared war and lost the game for him. Whatever. Kyle, do you remember the game that got cut short, right? I was by far the best in the game, right? I was producing more money, more economy. I had a nice little thing there. You were even complimenting me during the game. You know why I was beating everyone? Go ahead, say it. You know why. You want me to say
It was the simpler version of the game, and you're kind of you went wide, and it did pretty well.
And where I was going to go was I think I had better land. Like I spawned in, like in comparison to you guys, my capital city was in a really nice spot, and then there were 2 other nice spots near it, and I had a roadway system between the 3, and they were just churning out money and science, and it was great. Now I made good decisions, but I also was fortunate to spawn, I think, in the best spot out of the 4 of us.
Yeah, so much of that game is wrapped up in where you spawn. I mean, you can obviously recover from an unlucky spawn point.
Right.
In the future, we're going to do bigger maps. I've been experimenting with that, and it goes much better.
The game where Kyle directly attacked me and I hadn't built a military yet, Lefty apparently had the best spawn in the history of Civ.
You guys could not have touched me.
It wasn't just
if you
the
tried.
resources; he was just geographically protected.
Yeah.
Like, there was he was surrounded by this mountain chain that made it was like the Battle of Hermopolis or whatever. What is it? It is Hermopolis.
That's close enough for me.
Everything, yeah, close enough. Everything was down to like 1 or 2 tiles, and I never even found the mouth. I never even found my way to a city, and I sent armies. I sent armies.
Yeah,
You
so
sent
much of that
thousands
was
upon
based
millions of
on.
men.
Oh, and during that game, I learned about trading spices. I always thought like let's say you gave me some sugar, that it was costing you something. There's excess resources. I can give you spices, and you can give me sugar, and we can both be happier than we would have otherwise. There's win-wins.
Yeah, if we got excess, yeah.
Yeah, and I really just sort of figured out all the excess trading during that game. Towards the end of the game, which probably a lot of people didn't watch, I was getting pretty sharp at it and just like, hey, lefty, win-win. Hey, chiz, win-win. And I didn't have to worry about unhappiness anymore. So next time, I bet we could win that same game again. I know we're saying one deity to stack the deck in our favor. I half want to go two deity. Go big or go home. It's not gonna
Yeah, I think we should do. I think we can beat two.
I think we can beat two also.
Yeah, especially if one of them isn't. We thought George Washington was a warmonger. Turns out he wasn't.
Kyle is,
We're
though.
gonna-
Kyle's
we're
been a
gonna do this,
warmonger.
We've got to do the same ones, right?
Please let there be some Reddit topics about how Kyle lost this game,
It was the Battle of Thermopylae.
when in reality, they're all going to be, damn it, Woody, what's with your road tiles? that's all they're going to talk about.
Look, here's what I think we should do.
Mm-hmm.
I think we should set it up again, deity level. We all pick like I don't know. We pick a civ that's like super militaristic at the beginning, and we build four big armies as fast as we can and go after them. Let's experiment with something like that.
Just build big ass armies and try to go get them.
Like as soon as we can build send compound bow archers and compound bow archers and like long swordsmen and
I
just
think
go.
on deity that might be a mistake because they start off so far ahead of you.
But they won't build an army like we can. We can build a huge army between the
Don't
four
they
of us.
spawn with an army?
A little one.
Yeah, they spawn with a
Like a
few.
warrior or two. 2 warriors apiece, I think. Something stupid like that. They start with like 5 or 6 units.
And science, like one of the tech trees is filled out.
They're hard fucking core.
I want
They
to
don't
do what we
mess
did
around.
again without the mistakes this time.
Okay.
I'll be much better at managing my happiness. I'll play wide more successfully. Playing wide on deity is really hard. Some people say not to do it at all. Yeah, anyway, I don't know. I wanted to make this topic first so that
So
everyone
you got it out of the way. Got the Kyle bashing out of the way. I see. All right.
Oh,
Or we could just go to warlord difficulty and just house people and just like put no city states, just all other civ AIs, and we just barnstorm through.
No, I want to get it on deity. I want to beat that thing. And I think we can do it.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, especially if we understand like what kind of victory we want to go for. Like, okay, we're playing for a delegate victory, so everybody start playing nice with city states, establish trade routes, and we could wrap it up. I mean, if we were all playing for that from the beginning, we could have gone to. I mean,
The thing
how
about that is
quickly
pretty
could we have
weak.
wrapped up
So
that
what
win?
Chiz didn't tell you was that we were going to have to vote for one of us. One of us was going to win.
I don't know if it works like that when we're on the same
Yeah,
team.
it does. One of us was going to have to be the world leader. One of
I would have
you
been
know.
fine with that. I'd call that a win.
That sucks. I would rather get to. I would rather get a science. I would rather beat them with military. That way, everybody's contributing somewhat equally. Like maybe Woody's job is to make nukes, and he's just sent 6 nuclear missiles, and Lefty's controlling the navy, and I've got an army of tanks, and Chiz has an army of
That's
infantry.
why I love it when I play wide and get a couple good cities cooking. I feel like I haven't done that in PKA plays yet because something's always weird. And also I'm learning happiness in Civ 5 makes it so much harder to play wide than my previous experience. But
Yeah, you might think 10 or 15 happiness is enough. You want 40 happiness, so that when the bad times come, you've still got 20.
yeah, I hear you. But once I get to like 20, I'm like, dude, I totally got headroom for another city. And then I get to -1, and it's like, who needs sugar? Let's make a win-win.
I've also started splitting the first 2 policies until I get them both, liberty and what's the other one?
Tradition.
Tradition. No, not tradition is the military one. I think.
Is it?
Oh, the
It's the one that's like a monarchy type thing, right? Like in My Way or the Highway.
Yeah, that's in there too. Whatever the hang on, I'll look it up. But I've been splitting the first 2. I've been like going back and forth, picking the best ones from each of them as I go down, and that's been pretty effective.
Anyone notice how silky smooth Kyle's voice is
It's
tonight?
so good.
Oh my God, Kyle, have sex with me. It is. Back me up on that, Lefty.
It's nice. You're rocking the not better than me though.
No, never.
Kyle has actually the same mic that I use for most of my commentaries, the Shure SM7B. He just got it. And I get you and Chiz dialed in how you like setting it up, right?
Yeah, I think so. Well, I didn't really adjust anything. Everything's just right in the middle. The gains.
It's a beautiful
turned
mic. So it's funny. Kyle wrote us a couple nights ago. He's like, I need mic talk, and it was like my mating call. I was like, oh, here we go, baby. You know, mic talk away. And then we started talking about interfaces and budgets and mics, and I think we pointed them in a good direction.
Yeah, I still want to borrow your interface though.
Okay.
I think I've got this Behringer thing is kind of a stopgap, but
It's working for you. I got it out of the attic. I have it right here. Actually, I
Yeah.
found a USB cord for you too, just in case you somehow didn't have one, and I need to mail it. So we'll get that done. I think tomorrow, or I'll just give it to Jackie to mail, so it really gets done.
yeah, that's a good plan. Jackie's awesome.
Yeah, she's incredible. She's really good.
You want to tell everybody what you got for dinner tonight?
I had filet mignon with mashed potatoes and fresh, like from the farm, green beans and sautéed mushrooms. That was
That
tonight's
sounds
dinner.
awesome.
Yeah, it's as good as it gets.
That ham sandwich.
Yeah, Jackie is
Son of a
incredible.
bitch.
Do we need a new topic? What am I ever smooth?
Oh, on the
segues?
civilization thing, the first two, it was it was tradition. It was tradition and liberty. But yeah,
Yeah, those are good. They've got good individual stuff. You know.
If you do it like that, going wide's a little bit easier because you get the bonuses. You get a free worker, free settler, and increased settler production. But yeah, we should definitely tackle those deity level badasses again and kill them this time.
All right. So you want a war?
I
Is
want
that
a
what
war.
you want?
Yeah, big war. I want us to nuke them.
Will you guys cue that up 25 seconds in?
Yeah. What are we at here?
I'm there.
There's a timestamp on it.
Yes, there is.
I just
All
thought
right.
we'd watch a couple of seconds of it. Are you ready?
Does the sound have to be off?
Off I'm going with, yeah.
Okay.
Ready, set, play. There she is. At last, the fleshlight iPad cover.
Oh no.
Oh, yes. At last. You know, how long have you been waiting for an iPad protection case that had a fleshlight holder built into it?
Forever.
About
Yeah.
14. About 20 seconds.
So you can talk to your loved one, or I don't know if it's your loved one or maybe just a stranger. Maybe they can start making videos devoted to this function so that your iPad is...
I can think of a lot of options. A lot of ways to make that happen.
You're a little loud.
Is the whole family listening to me talk about fleshlight iPad covers? Do you want to see it?
No, I don't want to.
Yeah, at long last, we finally have... my ship has come in, and there is a fleshlight iPad accessory.
Whose idea was that?
I know, I thought of it. They seem to have come up with it
There's
independently.
just some weird motherfucker sitting in a room, and he that was his brainchild. He's like, so you get the iPad, and you combine it with our fleshlight technology. What do you get? Fuckable iPad.
Yes.
Genius, Johnson. Genius.
I hope that
You're
guy
an
got a
MVP.
bonus.
Can't people just beat it anymore? Like
No. It's
just
the
straight up
21st
masturbation
century.
has worked for how long, and now you like I gotta put my iPad and strap a flashlight to it, and it's like I'm.
I object. I think that it's totally unfair that women have had tools and accessories and modifiers to do their thing.
Since the dawn of time.
Yeah, no one says, can't they just flip the bean? Right? Can't they just do that? Do they really have to have, all these tools and accessories and such? And no, we don't. We say, yeah, women, knock yourselves out. We think it's hot. Yet when a guy does it, oh my gosh, suddenly it's this horrible thing, right? Suddenly, oh, you need a flashlight to get off. What's wrong with you?
No, it's just attaching the flashlight to an iPad is a definite.
You're
I'm fine with
merging
the
technology.
flashlight. I'm fine with the flashlight. No problem. Go for it.
I want Oculus Rift compatibility.
Don't judge me, motherfucker. Come on. iPad, fleshlight. I'm switching up mics.
Because pretty soon we're gonna have robots soon, and people are gonna want to all of a sudden have sex with those robots. That's what we're going for. We're heading right towards robot sex.
Well, they already have those.
Yeah,
and
I can't wait for that. This sounds glorious. This is going to be pure.
They already
win.
have those.
They have sex robots?
Oh yeah.
What?
Yeah. That's
Where?
awful. Sex robots? Like where? Where do they have them?
On the internet.
That's terrible. The internet? Like right online? Like what? Where on the internet?
Any website really.
Yeah, like in particular.
No, I don't mean the piston that's just going back and
dreadful,
forth. I don't
but
mean that.
Like exactly where have they done that?
Oh, Lefty said he didn't like the. Lefty.
How much? Could we go there? And
oh my God, what do those evil people charge for such a device?
how long? Do the major airlines fly there? And
Yeah,
could it be a PK Adventures? And
is
we
it
just
human shaped? These robots, or
No,
is it
no,
all to your imagination? Have you seen Real Dolls?
Oh yeah, those are creepy.
They are.
There's a movie where it's called like James and the Real Girl or something, where he gets one of those and makes it his girlfriend and like carries it around everywhere and like it's a person and like everybody plays along.
Everyone's a critic
of what?
It's male sex
of the Real Dolls.
Yeah.
Yeah, those things are disturbing.
They are. They're. If you don't know a real doll, you'll have to Google that on your own. It is a hyper-realistic sex doll. Like, I think it might use human hairs. If not, it just seems like it. They look like real people. I was introduced to one years ago because it was on the, not in real life, but it was on the Howard Stern show. And they had a Real Doll, like, in the corner that they would often make reference to. And I think they were sponsored by Real Doll. If not, then they just loved it and made it part of, like, a bit on the show. But, yeah, Real Doll is a real thing. And they are very, like, super realistic sex dolls. It looks like
disturbing.
You might walk into the room and think that it was a real person in the corner, just oddly still.
I didn't like it.
You didn't like it, meaning you've tried it.
Yeah.
No, the
what did she not like you back?
Lars and the Real Girl. That's the name of the movie. That's what I was trying to look up.
Oh.
I'm still talking about the movie. The movie's creepy. It's got what's his name from Drive in it. But anyway, he brings it around his family, like everyone. I think he takes it to church. It's a good movie. If you're into that.
If you're into real life
sex dolls.
Fuckable sex dolls.
And I think they're like heavy. They're like 95 pounds or something too.
Yeah, they weigh a lot. Yeah.
Like a realistic weight. How awful.
Yeah, because there's got to be some resistance there, you know, like you're pushing into something. That's just. But pretty soon those are going to be robots, and people are going to want to fuck them. And
it
it's
reminded
just
me of a joke.
Weird.
Like, Lefty, you want to play the rape game? You want to play the rape game, Lefty?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, he's supposed to say no.
Oh, no. Okay, no.
That's the spirit. Yeah.
Okay. Put that on Facebook one time. It got like a violation thing.
That same joke?
Yeah, but played out with Harry Potter actors. It was like a multi-page meme. It was funny, I thought.
Yeah.
So wait, you got in trouble for that?
No, I didn't get any trouble. It was just like a red letters that like, this is bad, don't do this, and it's gone now.
Wow.
So like a year to do it.
CNN article. Lefty, here's the question. How many drinks do you think you have a week?
Alcoholic drinks? Mm-hmm. Average? Or like, what have I done? What did I do last week?
I guess, average. What's a busy week? What's a light week?
A light week is a
whole week, 7 days.
Right. Damn it. Probably average is about.
You look at these numbers.
I don't know, two liquor drinks and maybe a pitcher of beer.
So 3 a day would be average?
No. Average over a week.
Oh, so, a pitcher of beer, you said.
Yeah.
Can you break this into actual drinks?
Like 3 beers and two liquor drinks.
No. Okay.
Maybe average.
So that's light. It turns out that a heavy drinker is 15 to 20 drinks a week.
That's impressive.
Is it? I mean, over 7 days, that's just 2 or 3 drinks a day.
Well, you've got to factor into it also, like, because I'm assuming that these are average numbers for an average human, and for an average, an average sized person, an average sized male, what is that? 5'11", 160 pounds. We're guessing, right? 2 alcoholic beverages, that'll get you somewhere. Like two shots of Jack. Every night. Well, right, eventually, right, but so for an average person, yeah, that'll get you a good buzz going.
I don't know. A lot of people were surprised that the number was low. That 2 or 3 drinks a day, making you a heavy drinker.
Well, but here's the question though: who says that it's a heavy drinker? Is this the Journal of some
Journal of
medical...
Heavy Drinking? Hang in there. I'll look for
bitches.
No, if it was them, they'd be like, "No, you're not an alcoholic. You're fine. That's 50 drinks a week, man. You're fine at 20. Don't worry about it."
It depends. I mean, if you're having three or 4 glasses of red wine every night, yeah, you're probably drinking a little too much.
The Center for Disease Control.
Okay. I don't know. It seems to me that that might be a little bit of a low definition, because by that estimation, every single college student in America is a heavy drinker.
Definitely.
Every single one.
I don't know.
And what do you call those people who drink a 12-pack a day? Like what are they? And that's not even on the high end. I say that like that's insane, but I know plenty of people who drink a 12-pack a day. What about the people who drink a case a day?
I think you're going high with it. Like when I was in college, I drank weekends at best, and I didn't drink like 20 a weekend.
Oh, I'm talking about much sadder individuals than college students.
Yeah, I was responding to Lefty, who said that every college student is a heavy drinker. I disagree.
Well, obviously, every college student was a bit hyperbole, but a lot of students who just drink on the weekends would be classified as heavy drinkers, because you got to a bar, you have what was the minimum average for heavy drinking? What was it, 12?
For girls, it was 15. For guys, I think it was 20.
For guys, it was 20.
I think so.
A week.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty. That's a lot. Okay.
Yeah, but if you drink daily, that's 3.
Yeah.
If you have 2 with dinner and another or something, it just heavy drinker is something that is achievable to regular people if you strive.
Yeah, totally so.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't be having 3 alcoholic beverages a night.
If you go out every night, then that's going to get it done.
I don't think I've drank this year.
When did we do the drunk episode? That was last year?
I think so.
Well, you didn't really even drink during that episode anyway, so it doesn't count.
I guess I came up short. So you think the alcohol expired out of that drink and it wasn't an alcoholic beverage anymore?
No, I think it was just a mixer that may have a little bit of alcohol in it, like Kahlua. Kahlua-'s got a little bit of booze in it, but not much.
I think it had like 7%.
Maybe we should make a greater effort to make sure that what we're drinking next time is tasty. Because we're always like, oh yeah, let me run and grab like a 6-pack of this, and it's just like, hang on a minute. If we're actually gonna do this, let's plan ahead. There's no reason I can't have a pitcher of gingerbread martinis or something.
Wings completely fooled me that episode. I thought he was trashed. He would tip that thing back and down it, and I'm like, oh my god, like that is like. Mm-hmm. So if you guys don't know, Wings doesn't drink. Wings doesn't drink, and he doesn't drink, so he doesn't know. Like the first drinking episode, he wasn't really sure what to drink, so I guess he used like maybe Bastard Brooke as his role model, and it comes in with like Southern Comfort or something, and it's like that is not a beginner's drink. That is the hardcore stuff, and he could barely drink it. So the next time he came in, it was fake, but it seemed like he did it again. Like what was that fruit punch stuff supposed to be?
It was supposed to be vodka, like fruit vodka.
Burnett's vodka.
And he was just downing it like it was Sweet and Low, or what am I looking for? Cherry?
It was like Crystal Light or something.
Crystal Light, that's what I was looking for. And it was Crystal Light. But
yeah, it was
he
tasty.
fell asleep.
Enjoyed that.
Oh, that was funny.
I wonder, the question is, did he really fall asleep, or was he just laying there pretending to be asleep?
Acting.
Exactly.
Like maybe he's like, no, they're think of like it's a good time for a nap just in the middle of PKA, just like, oh, I'm gonna pretend I'm really drunk and I'm just gonna take a nap really quick.
Yeah, what was method at? He actually took the nap to fool us. This will show him. That was so funny, but not at all. That was I really, because I was drinking and I don't like to drink either.
Right. That's where I was too. I wasn't like, I don't think I was mad about it. I was just like
I was shocked.
No way. Yeah, shocked is perfect. That's what I was. I was shocked. I didn't know. It's like, huh. So you guys ready for another topic?
Yeah. Is it? I've got one. Can we do one of mine?
Of course.
You've got so many. So Seth Rogan is making a movie.
Yeah. Go on. I'm sorry.
And the premise of the movie is that he and who's his partner?
James Franco.
He and James Franco, who are awesome together. They're going to North Korea to interview Kim Jong-un, and the CIA recruits them to murder him while they're there. And they convinced him to do so. So that's what the movie's about. It's about
just to be clear,
Seth
I was
Rogen.
confused. I thought that they were professional assassins or something.
No, that's why it's funny. They're going there. They're just like dudes. They're going there to North Korea, and the CIA recruits them to kill him. So they don't know what the fuck they're doing. So it's Seth Rogen and James Franco, and they're literally trying to assassinate Kim Jong-un, and they name him by name. And they go to North Korea, and it's like all crazy and zany, and they've got a guy who looks like Kim Jong-un. Kim Jong-un didn't like this.
In real life.
Yeah, in real life, he heard about this movie. He saw the trailer, and he's saying that it's like an act of war. And they launched 4 missiles this week.
He's literally acting like the United States has committed an act of war for this comedy movie.
They said that the U.S. government has hired gangster filmmakers to make a movie that's a direct threat against the great leader.
Gangster filmmakers, huh?
Meanwhile, this jackass talks about leveling us all the time.
All the time.
All the time. Yeah. So fuck him.
I'm going to see that movie.
But hold on now. Imagine if somebody did a movie where they're going to kill President Barack Obama, and they hired a guy to look like Barack Obama, and they're going to assassinate him. There'd probably be some people upset with that. Perhaps B-Man himself.
Probably
he would be
so.
all smiles and
Probably so. But this guy's a lunatic. He's a laughable Donald Duck type character.
Barack Obama would not be saying the nation in which that movie was filmed has declared war on us or committed an act of war.
Yeah. He might use the government to fuck with you. I'm sure the Secret Service would come knock on your door, and you'd probably make it on the no-fly list if you did that, if you were the producer of that movie.
Maybe you're right. I hadn't even thought of it from his perspective. I only thought he's a dope, because I always think he's a dope.
Barack Obama or Kim Jong-un?
Kim Jong-un. Barack Obama, I only sometimes think is a dope.
I think just because Kim Jong-un is such a goofball, so ridiculous, and he is ridiculous. Don't get me wrong. I understand that the media skews certain countries, and the U.S. isn't always the good guy in every situation. I get it, but trust me, North Korea is run by a lunatic. That guy's fucking wearing striped pants and women's panties on his head, flying in a diesel submarine somewhere right now. He's insane.
I think
Dennis
awesome.
Rodman will figure it all out, though. Don't worry.
Thank goodness
We're
he's
going
on
to
our
send
side.
Dennis Rodman over there, and he's gonna settle it all. He's going to make peace with North Korea.
Dennis Rodman's brilliant,
asshole.
man. That guy was a good defender, but if I'm not a basketball expert, but I'm pretty sure he pumped up his numbers by winning every rebound against his own teammates too. On his team, this guy would get 14 rebounds a game, and the second best guy in the league would be 7. How? If Lefty and I are on the same team and the rebound comes anyway near us, I compete for it like he's on the other team. Every rebound he would go and get, and he was good at defense. Couldn't score worth a lick, but he was good at defense, and he was especially good at getting rebounds. And he is still famous. The guy's 50 now, and he's just
he's a weird guy.
And he was weird. He wore wedding dresses and crazy makeup and things like that. And
the piercings in the hair.
The piercings, the crazy hair. He was wild back when NBA players weren't as wild as they are today. He stood out even more. And I just feel he turned being good at defense into being one of the league's premier famous people.
Yeah, I don't know how
he's
he did
also
that.
famous for almost killing himself with alcohol, and then he went on that celebrity rehab show and did really well. Yeah, he had big alcohol problems. He was a guy who'd have more than 20 drinks a week. He was a heavy drinker for sure.
Well, he's a big guy.
I wonder how was he? Was 6'9", 6'10"?
Something like that.
Let's see. What do you got?
But
6'7".
yeah, I'm looking forward. I'm really looking. Only 6'7". I'm really looking forward to that movie. I like just about everything Seth Rogan does.
I'd agree with that.
Did you see his like little podcast thing he does with Snoop Dogg, if you could call it that?
No.
No.
It's like these 15. I think it's Snoop Dogg's show, but I've seen Seth Rogan on it once or twice. They're YouTube videos, like 15 or 20 minutes long, and they're full of product placement. Like it's literally floating around in the air, like Snoop Dogg shoes and shit. But it's still pretty good because they just talk about it. It's not scripted. They're just having conversations. Like Snoop Dogg would be like, "What was that one movie you was in with that Amy Adams girl?" No, that wasn't Amy Adams. That was like, and they're just having conversations and just bullshitting about stuff. And smoking weed the whole time, which is hilarious.
Shucks. I have a particular... I found it. Are you ready for this?
Let's see what you got.
All right. Prepare to be outraged. He was driving at 70 or 80 miles an hour, and the trailer was waiting for the light. That's how one witness described the New York Post headline, "Driver loses head while trying to lose the cops." The horror movie grade fatal crash from Brooklyn yesterday. The 22-year-old Leroy Samuel was reported feeling around 70 or 80 miles an hour in his black Infiniti G35 when he crashed into the flatbed truck waiting for a light. Yet another Infiniti sedan accident.
How many
Wow.
people have to die, Infinity? Really? How much is enough for you and your blood money? I've had it.
I feel like they should take the keys and just like the guy was 22 years old. That's not old enough. Has he gone through any kind of mental evaluation before they gave him an Infinity sedan?
He probably should have been on a list. Should have been on a list for not owning Infinity sedans. You gotta keep Infinity sedans out of the hands of people that would do that.
Yes. Obviously, he's a crazy person. He was going 70 or even 80 miles per hour in an Infinity sedan. I feel like the Constitution is wrong. That the people shouldn't have access to this kind of sedan.
I don't think I was on the show where this joke started.
You were?
I know. Actually, I think he might not have been. It was that long ago.
It seems like it's about registering guns, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, we did a bit on the show where we blamed Infinity sedans for the accidents they cause in the same way that people blame guns.
I see.
Yes.
How many?
But I don't
people?
think but can you do that to just one specific make and model?
It's really all Infinity sedans.
Oh, well, that's
I'm
different.
not- I
Fuck
mean-
them.
Yeah, I mean, Infinity coupes are fine for highway driving. I mean, if you want to do that, because we've been highway driving for centuries.
Maybe through the country. Right. America has a tradition of highway driving in Infinity coupes. That kind of Infinity is okay. But
I had one of
Infinity
those one time.
sedans, it's
It was like an
fucking-
X35. Is that the little two-seater one?
Kyle, I would like you to justify to me why you need an Infinity sedan.
Please.
It's got a lot of
justify.
power. Okay, first of all, like I didn't think until I got into one time.
How much power do you really need? They're designed specifically to transport people.
It's really smooth though. I mean, it's a low-end torque, and it's not too loud either. You just press the gas and it goes. It's like a Beamer.
I don't think we need sedans designed to move people in this country. There are no Infinity sedans in Australia, and the rate at which Infinity sedans have gotten into accidents has plummeted since they enacted that law.
Infinity is not killing people in Australia. They're doing it right.
Yeah.
They're doing it absolutely right. You can own an antique Infinity.
Have you guys looked into that Australian Prime Minister at all? Are you guys aware that he's a fucking moron?
Yeah.
It's awesome. They got themselves a George Bush, boys. I mean, he is breaking new ground every
It's not just
fucking
us,
day.
baby. It's not just us. Apparently, he passed the first anti EPA type legislation in history. I know they don't have the EPA, but they're
trying to,
pro carbon.
He's trying to fuck up the barrier reef and steal land from the Aborigines and burn forests. These are real things this motherfucker's up to.
It used
And
to
he's
be. I'm sorry. I thought there was a break.
He's super right wing, super religious, which is nothing wrong with that. But he brings it into the job, and he makes presidential type decisions based on his religion. Sometimes it's insane. This guy is a goofball. You got to look this guy up. And he's really public. He's always doing media and stuff and saying fucked up crazy shit. There's a whole blooper reel of him.
How did he get elected?
Oh, I don't know. There's a scene where he walks down the street and he's like, "Hello, sir. How are you today?" He's like, "Fuck you, cocksucker." This is everybody hates him.
I've seen that blooper reel. When Bush was president, the United States was kind of a global leader in ridiculous, stupid politicians, right? I felt like everyone else had to follow us in that regard. Now that Obama is our leader, you might not like everything he does, but by and large, even people who hate him recognize he's a relatively sharp, well-educated, competent person. Canada with your crack-smoking mayor, Australia with your God talking to prime minister, you have seized the lead from the United States in terms of ridiculous, stupid leadership. Well done.
They're the words. I'm gonna look for some quotes from this guy.
Is this the same guy? Because I know Australia had some guy in their government that was really, really, really anti-video games, hated them, and he was on the video games cause you to kill your parents and cause you to do awful things, and that's the reason why game reviewers in Australia have to get they have to smuggle in copies of certain games to play and review because they're not available for sale there.
I saw somebody quote, "Video games don't make you kill people. Lag makes you kill people." Video games don't make you homicidal. Glitches do.
All right, so here are a list of Tony Abbott's quotes, the Australian Prime Minister. He said this on posing closely with a group of teen netballers. Quote, "A bit of body contact never hurt anyone." He said, on the subtitles of The Crisis in Syria, he said, "It's not goodies versus baddies, it's baddies versus baddies." On the merits of Liberal candidate Fiona Scott, "I think I can probably say she has a bit of sex appeal, and she's not just a pretty face." All right. Hang on, there are better ones.
Sounds like we found a fourth for the show. Can we get him on? Contact him?
He said this on immigration. "Jesus knew that there was a place for everything, and it's not necessarily everyone's place to come to Australia. These people aren't so much seeking asylum, they're seeking permanent residency. If they were happy with temporary protection visas, then they might be able to argue better than they were." The asylum keepers. Oh, that's not funny. Hang on. Oh, that's their bad boy.
It sounds
He's
like
a real moron.
Guy's a good moron. I like morons in positions of power because they're entertaining.
Yeah.
He doesn't believe in climate change. He said climate change is absolute crap.
That's I feel like the Republicans brought that up in the U.S. recently. Oh my God, Iraq is crumbling, and Obama's talking about climate change, and Obama totally turned that around. He said, "Yes, I'm talking about climate change. You're a climate change denier. You look ridiculous." And that seems to be the current topic. He just owned it.
Mm-hmm.
Owning it is amazing. That's totally the way to handle so many of your problems. I'm just realizing, just owning it, own it, own it, own it. Don't back down from it. Own it. They throw an insult at you. Own it. Take it. It's yours. Okay, Lefty, watch this. I think you're a bit of a honky. Have I hurt your feelings?
No.
Don't give a shit. Cracker.
Yep. I am very white.
No one cares. We just own it. It's not a problem. All races, please do this. All sexual. Oh, Lefty, you're straight. Ha ha ha, straighty.
I like vagina.
Right? He's not bothered by this. Just own it. Just whatever it is, just make it yours and say, yeah, that's me. I think it's freaking brilliant. It's that's what people should do. If you're another race, whatever, just own it. How did I get on this topic of owning it? Was it the politicians?
Talking about Obama and climate deniers. And,
right, that's what he did.
Yeah.
He just owned it. They're like, yeah, you're doing this. It's
ironically enough, that's kind of the reason why climate change is a problem now, because everybody, he's not talking about Syria. He should be talking about Syria instead of climate change. Well, the reason climate change, one of the reasons, because we haven't been talking about it enough. Now we've got to talk about it. The only climate denying that I would ever do is I don't know if humans. I don't disagree that the climate on the Earth is changing or at least becoming more volatile, but the extent to which, one, humans created it, and two, how much we can undo it, I may be skeptical on. So climate skepticism. But just saying like, oh, it's not a thing. No.
I think that people do it, and I think we might not be able to stop it. But if we don't stop right now, it might be really, really worse. But I don't think it's going to bother. They keep saying it's going to affect us. I don't believe that. I could burn tires for the rest of my days, and the ocean wouldn't rise a foot near me. You guys are fucked though. Like you young guys, oh, you're fucked.
Have fun.
You're gonna live in a dark world, you motherfuckers. Enjoy it.
Buy property 1 block from the beach. Do it. It's a great investment. You'll be beachfront.
You're better off buying some stock in a good mass company. You're gonna want some sort of breathing apparatus. Maybe something to filter out the
They're
evil
just
that's
gonna
coming.
move inland. Find a way to profit off that.
I feel like the air quality for the planet is going to go down really badly.
Oh, I thought you were breathing underwater with your mask.
Oh, underwater would be better. That's where we'll go, Woody. That's where we'll be. Yeah. I'm going Andrew Ryan with this shit. That's the future. Underwater utopia.
I went to the year 3000. Not much has changed, but we live underwater. Just me?
Yeah. That's the future. That's how it should be.
No one rocks the Jonah Brothers?
No.
Really?
Not even once. It's like meth. Won't have it.
Do you guys want a new topic?
Sure.
YouTube is going to launch 48 and 60 frames per second.
That'd be cool.
Cannot wait. Video gaming content is going to look so buttery smooth. It's going to be great.
I think it's going to... So, PC gamers are going to be the first, obviously, to start capturing at 60 frames per second, and it's going to widen the gulf of quality difference. Like right now, when I see a guy play on the PC, two things jump on my mind. If it's a shooter, they somehow move different. Like it doesn't bounce in the same way, and like I can tell when a guy aims whether he's using a mouse or a controller. Like not just how quick they snap on, but like the way that it moves, like the acceleration to it is different. But soon, the other thing is going to be, this is clearly 60 frames per second. Like, it just looks smoother. Not only is the image going to be sharper, but it's going to be smoother. And it'll be interesting to see, like, if people watching video are going to look at console footage and be like, no, this won't do. You know, I'd much rather see someone who captures on a PC. And the guys who take time to upload it like 1440p, 60 frames per second, or 4K, they'll have an advantage. Like I feel like one of the things I did right with my channel is I was way ahead of the quality curve. I think I talked about this on a show before, but I was uploading 1080p when everyone else was doing 720. I was buying like professional level audio equipment when everyone else was using blue snowballs. And now I would argue that everyone has pretty, like 1080p is the standard. Professional level audio equipment is the standard, but I got there first, and I think it was one of the reasons that my channel did well. When like 1440p, 60 frames per second could be an opportunity to get there before anyone else does.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's going to take, you're going to you're going to see who has the bitchin' internet and who has the bitchin' PCs and who doesn't, because that's, I don't know, I don't think it's technically double the data from 30 FPS to 60 because of the way it's drawn. It may not be a strict 1-to-1 ratio in terms of if you go
it's
from 30
the way keyframes work is what you're talking about, right?
Right. But those files are bigger, and you're going to need a higher bit rate to maintain visual fidelity in your 60 frames per second upload. I learned that very early on trying to stream 60 frames per second on Twitch. I was like, oh man, I've got to have extra bit rate when I stream 60 so that
sure.
all the frames look all nice and they don't have compression artifacts and stuff. And though that results in two things: one, higher bitrate, and then also larger files. And those larger files take longer to upload and longer to render. And it's going to definitely, it's no longer like, oh, I finally got my, I got the Avermedia or Elgato. Now I'm in the 720 1080p game. Okay, now can you do 1080p 60 recording, rendering, and uploading?
None of them do. Elgatos don't. Avermedias don't. You have to be on like DxTory or something to do that. Here's how keyframes work. Look at Lefty. His image is on the big screen for me. And as you're watching this, by the way, not only are we looking at Lefty, but we're looking around the entire image. A keyframe, if I think I have this right, will give you the entire image, right? Every pixel on the screen. And maybe every 2 seconds you actually get a keyframe. In between that, 24, I think in this case we do 30 frames per second. So there's 60 frames in there where all it sends to your browser is the difference. So if you're looking at this, the Painkiller already, 186 on the right, the link to the Patreon thing, the people, that gets sent once every 2 seconds. And the rest of it just, reuses that image. On Lefty there, his face will move, his hair will move, etc. But his background is really stable. So unless there's a change in the background, unless he taps it or something, then it's just going to send that image once every couple seconds. And even his mic, like it bounces a little bit sometimes when he talks or touches it or whatever. That is not as like bandwidth intensive or expensive as it would be if he say, I don't know, his mic changed colors or something like that. So that's how keyframes works, and that's why it's not quite double the bandwidth, because it's just more keyframe, more like intermediate changes. But anyway, 60 frames per second could create a new divide in YouTube. And I think a lot of people will say like, well, I don't really care about the quality. It's not that big of a deal. But you forget that sometimes just looking at beautiful things is a draw to the channel. And there are some channels, Devin Supertramp comes to mind, where almost the entire channel is based on this like videography beauty, right? Like that guy works a Steadicam really well, and he goes to location and captures it really well. And this guy I think he's at 2 million subs now, and it's all based on beautiful videography and some fun music. That's his channel. If you were to only watch his videos and never see the behind the scenes stuff, you'd never even hear his voice. Like it's not a personality based channel. It is a videography based channel. And you notice it when a guy has lousy audio equipment. You notice it when a guy has second rate video. It makes a difference. And 60 frames per second is coming along. It's an opportunity for somebody, and it's a good thing. Now,
and Frank,
go ahead.
Frankie on PC in 1080p does that with video games, and I go there. I see that a lot. Well, I don't care about this. And I say, well, okay, well, you might not, and I totally get not like, yeah, I don't really care if it's in 1080p or 60 frames per second. I understand that. Okay, well, good for you. But there's a lot of people that do, myself included. When I started watching Frankie on PC in 1080p, I was like, oh my God, look at how awesome this guy makes. Even the DayZ mod, and now the DayZ standalone, and Arma 3, and what was that? There was a World War II shooter that was like browser based, and he played, and it looked awesome.
Was it the plane one, like the Thunder or something?
No, it was Heroes and Generals, I think. I want to say.
Not what
and then he started doing 1440p and 4K, and I don't have 1440p monitors or 4K monitors. But I know that if I did, I'd go there to see what a game looked like in 4K, because I know Frankie on PC in 1080p, or Frankie devotes the time and the effort. And the guy's funny. I mean, he generates engaging cinematic content stuff. It's really cool what he does.
It'd be fun to have him on the show. I sent him a tweet this week, but he doesn't check his Twitter every day. So, yeah. But if you'd like to come on, hit us up. But anyway, yeah. So he produces really good-looking content, and it's one of the keys to his channel's success. He does the tech stuff better than other people do. And that matters. Even if it's just at a subtle level. Maybe you're not seeking out, but when you see a channel and it just jumps at you as obviously professional, then that counts for something.
Definitely does. It's like a marginal. I use this a lot. It's like relish on a hot dog, or whatever your garnish of choice is. You're having
what do you put on a hot dog?
I'm just a straight ketchup man. I'll do chili. I'll have
Child?
a chili. Hold on. Chili dog, cheese, and onions. Good. But I never got into relish. Was never big on it.
Yeah, you can get some relish
What do
on
you do,
there.
Kyle?
You get some spicy mustard, some relish, maybe some chili, some onions too. Sometimes I'll put some spicy pickles and jalapenos on top.
So
Maybe some melted cheese. Maybe not. Maybe I'll cut the hot dog in half, put the cheese inside that, then melt it, then make the hot dog. Maybe I'll wrap it on aluminum foil first, bake it a little. I don't know.
Crispy.
Maybe it's a pretzel dog. Maybe I make some homemade pretzels, make a whole pretzel dog thing. It's an experience. Depends how the night's going, how much Adderall I've had.
I go mustard relish. Mustard relish. Anything else, and it just becomes a big sloppy mess of a dog. You know, chili, onions, things like that sound good, but
You don't
the
have hot dog
reality
eating
is,
gloves?
I get dirty hands afterwards. Who wants that?
Like hot dog eating gloves. You come prepared, they don't come at all.
Yeah.
Please don't tell me you actually have hot dog eating gloves. And hot dog eating gloves. I'm gonna Google this. I'm gonna make sure.
Well, you just
that
put
is
some rubber
not a
gloves on,
thing.
go to town.
You wear the mechanics gloves, right?
No,
You get a
no.
proper grip on the dog.
Right, and maybe sometimes I make my own hot dog bun and use like a kielbasa or something.
I
Maybe you get some
insert my
Italian
hot
sausage.
dog into one of, like, what I devote. Okay, here's the truth. I've devoted one of my many fleshlights to hot dog eating, and I just jam that shit in there. And it's like, the corn on the cob holders. I have fleshlights, and then I eat the dog from the middle out.
Dear God. What a horrible image.
If you get a hearty enough bun, you're not worried about a
Yeah,
if
you want a real
if you get a-
roll. Not
yeah, if
those
you get a-
cheap ass things that come attached to each other. You want hot dog rolls.
You gotta have sesame seeds on them too. That's the only way to that's the only kind of bun to put a hot dog in is with the sesame seeds. But anyway, like I was saying, the big content, 1080p and 4K and 60 frames per second, they're like garnish on a hot dog. They don't make it the hot dog is what you come for, but you also add to it and make it special with the condiments that you put on it. And I liken that to the stuff. To Frankie and his his channel would be rather large if he just did with search engine optimization and tagging 1080p 4K all that stuff, but he's also an engaging talent and fun to watch and really good at the games he plays. And the garnish for his channel is the 1080p and the high quality PC Ultra, all that stuff.
All right. Oh, another thing. YouTube's coming up with a tip jar. Do you think they take money from it?
Of course.
Those fuckers. They're going to have a... Where in the world does the boss take a portion of your tips?
YouTube.
I know we're on YouTube, and I don't want to get my channel closed down or anything, but I feel like what they did with mobile was wrong. Mobile is a growing platform. Growing. And it's taking the market share from PC. People who probably used to watch on notebooks and PCs are now watching on like tablets and phones and stuff like that. YouTube just never really let the content creators make money off that. That stuff goes to YouTube, and we don't make money off of it. It was just like part of the reason that our Patreon. Go click on that thing, check it out, see if any of those interest you or recommend new ones. But what they did with mobile, just like sort of never letting, they could see it growing, they could see that it was the future, and they're like, well, I'm not going to let the people who actually give us the videos be part of the future. I'm just going to slowly wedge them out and take it all for me. It violates, in my mind, the Google's do not evil thing, or do no evil. And now they're having a tip jar, and I just think, I bet they take a big cut of the tips.
Yeah, but I mean, what they're going to offer though is that tip button is going to be right there. It's not going to be link in the description, check it out. It's going to be right next to that like button is going to be tip. And the argument could be made, I'm not making the argument, but I guess the argument could be made that, well, you're probably going to get more people tipping.
Does it show how much is in there?
I don't know. I wouldn't
Hope
know.
not.
What was Kyle's question?
Does it show how much is in there?
I have no idea. I wonder who gets tips too. Like, I'd be more inclined to tip a guy with 100,000 sub who I really like, who's coming up. There you go. Than like Jenna Marbles, for example, who I feel, or PewDiePie's the best, right? Mm-hmm. Did PewDiePie just get covered for making $4 million a year? Even if you love his stuff, you kind of feel like he's already compensated.
He doesn't need a tip jar necessarily.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't need one.
He
he's
made
good.
$4 million last year.
Maybe he does. I don't know. You know, he doesn't
him if you
need
want
one,
to.
but he can have one if you. No, I said it right. He doesn't need one. But a guy with 100,000 subscribers might need one.
Yeah, but they can both have one, as far as I'm
They can
concerned.
both have them.
I
yeah.
don't watch a lot of PewDiePie videos, but I watched the YouTuber, you know, when he gets interviewed and stuff like that. He's the kind of YouTuber I like, to be honest. I don't see him, you know, piggybacking other people, betraying, like taking shots. People take shots at him all the time, and he basically just keeps doing his thing. Knock yourself out.
Yep.
Knock yourself out. And he gets a fair amount of hate, actually.
Yeah, he does.
For what? What do people hate him for?
They think his reactions are insincere, or mostly that he's just not deserving of all he gets. Like the world would be perfect if I controlled who had how many subs, and then I would divvy them out based on who was most deserving. That's how it should be done. Don't let people decide who they sub to. I should decide. This is being, you know, I don't really think this, but you know, these people, like, you know, Jackass who's complaining about PewDiePie's success feels that he should be the one that determines who has subs and money, not the market.
And it's just why hate him? Why hate him for what you believe to be insincere reactions? I mean, you may not like that. You don't watch his content because I feel it's insincere, and so I don't like it. So I don't watch it. Okay, but to use I hate him. I'm going to spew negativity at him because I believe he embellishes or even creates out of whole cloth his reactions. Huh? Do you get mad because your favorite TV, like the guys on Scrubs, aren't actually doctors, or that guy giving the girl that laying the pipe not actually a plumber? Are you mad? Do you hate them because of that?
Laying
or maybe,
the pipe
maybe I'm just
means something different in my world.
Yeah.
Yeah, laying the pipe's totally not what you think it is.
Really?
What is it to you?
I think it's fucking.
It's what Kyle thinks it is.
Right. It was I believe a pun is the term.
Innuendo.
Because
okay, my bad.
Or a double entendre. I don't
Yeah.
know the word, but because in the porn movies he plays a plumber.
Oh, I misunderstood.
Who
And then he lays
lays pipe.
Yeah, I imagine
But
Mario.
then he's actually laying the pipe. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
And then that's a different kind of pipe that he's laying.
So I
different.
saw this image where a comedian said a thing, and I'm gonna try and get it right. He said, "The word palindrome should totally be a palindrome. The word lisp should not have an S in it. That's just mean. The word innuendo, well done." I liked it.
Yes.
Yeah, that was good.
Spot on.
I don't know. I just don't get. Maybe people use the term hate too much, and I take it to mean, like, maybe hate has a different word, a different meaning now. It's not like I hate you, I want to hurt you and wish evil upon you, but it's just the new way to say I don't like this is to say I hate it. Maybe that's just the way it is. Maybe it's a different kind of usage of the word.
I've got people that hate me. I was reading my Twitter today.
What do those people think? I want to know. I'm curious. I'm a very curious person. I'm nothing if not curious. I want to know what's going on inside their head. I want to know what the motivation is for saying hateful, vitriolic things. Like, do you think you're going to be the one where Woody's like, he's right. He's exactly right.
I am an asshole.
My whole life is a sham. I must turn my life
Some guy
around.
wrote me and said, "You are the most self-centered twat on YouTube." So I replied, "I'm number one. I'm number one. I'm number one. Woohoo!" Another guy said, let me get this. Jay Nasty, I hope you get genital warts fucking Woody's gamertag, faggot. So I said, you want me to have sex with Jay Nasty? Send pics. I've been having fun with Twitter.
What do you think's
That was a horrible tweet that guy made.
Yeah, that's bad things to say to people just because it's the internet. And it's
I'm not even sensitive to it anymore. Which one did you think was horrible?
The last one.
I think the genital warts thing is pretty harsh.
Yeah, that was rough.
Oh, it doesn't
So
even
wait, was he
enter
wishing-
my psyche anymore. Those
Was he
extreme
wishing-
ones? Go ahead.
Was he wishing genital warts on Jay Nasty via
By
you?
you?
Yes, I think the assumption is I already have genital warts, and that I would give them to Jay Nasty if he were to have sex with me. I think that's where he was going with that. And yeah, those extreme ones, I've been here for a while. I could give a shit if they somehow have a hint of truth, or maybe they're not even remotely true, but it's something that's been repeated about me enough that people think it's true. Then sometimes with those I give pause, like like heck, I still get a lot of heat over the Jumpman thing, right? In short, the truth is this guy played at my server for every day, hundreds of purchases. He was like into his teens, had a high budget for gaming. We talked to him in person, made sure it was clear. There was no accident here. And then he decided, and then he went on Painkiller already and bought an ad there. And then he donated to a bunch of live streamers. And this guy just went around the net spreading his money for months and months and months. And then decided to pull it all back and pretend that it wasn't really him that made the charges. And suddenly they're coming at me because some guy said that he meant to donate $100 and left out a decimal point and donated 10 grand, and now I'm like suing him. I get that at me a bunch, and I'm like, some asshole was believed when he said that. And then they just took it and they're like, wow, really? Woody's going after a guy who accidentally left off a decimal point? That's not even a thing you can do. Like if you go to store.woodycraft.net, you don't enter your own prices. It's like Amazon. You add things to your shopping cart. So, sometimes it'll hit home with me if I think that either you're sincere, even if misinformed. But the genital wart stuff, like I'm long past giving a shit about people like him.
You're long past people giving you shit about your genital warts.
Yeah.
You've come to terms with it. You've accepted it.
That's the new truth about Woody's Gamertag.
Don't talk about your civilization roads though. Don't touch that topic.
I swear.
You leave that be.
I'm more sensitive about that because at least those workers were automated. Who doesn't have automated workers in Civ?
I don't.
I want a
do.
T-shirt made up. I want somebody to draw the roads that we specifically showed in the PKA play stuff, and I want that on a T-shirt with a quote of some kind. Take a quote from Woody being angry about it, and just put that on a T-shirt. We'll make millions.
Spaghetti Junction. What's your function?
No, it is. Call it Spaghetti Junction. Call it the Spaghetti Junction shirt. Bam. The image, however
There are
you want.
Spaghetti 3
Junction.
or 4 extra road tiles that made like loops in the corners. And the workers were automated, and
All right, so spaghetti. I'm gonna write that. I'm gonna write that one down.
Spaghetti Junction.
Spaghetti Junction T-shirt. That's our ticket to the big time, fellas, right there.
Now we know. This is how we go.
We have all the transvestite hookers on the show.
Now
all of them.
we
I
could
I
hire
want
them
that
now.
really bad.
We should find with the PKA Patreon, patreon.com/PKA. Go check it out right now. Link in the description. Link on the annotation on the screen. What we should do if we get enough, we should go back and find that specific tranny hooker, and be like, okay, let's go.
No. No
Wait,
way.
what if we just had a landmark at like $7,500? We get a transvestite hooker on the show. Like
think
we
we could
can't
do that.
guarantee that particular one will perform, but we could find a tranny hooker who will.
You would think we could get Bailey J for that.
Oh well, Kyle, we don't. I don't think you understand this. This is just when the show like hits this landmark.
I feel you.
Yeah,
we don't give
it's the-
100% of the show's profits to.
Okay,
to our
okay, I
guests.
get you. Yeah, okay, all right.
Oh, yeah,
I get you
yeah.
now.
But when the show gets this much, then we'll have some money to at least put towards the guest, maybe 1,000 of it or something, and the rest gets split up, and who knows what it'll take.
I will take less money if it means we can find that tranny hooker and whatever ridiculous thing she said. Like, I get this amount of money for a radio appearance, and I just want to show up with cash. Okay, let's go. We're doing the show.
She doesn't have to do it though. Right? She gets to decide. See, that's a thing. Like, people do it to us too. They're like, I'm going to buy an ad on PKA and I'm going to make them say this, this, and this. Like all these things that would harm us. No, you're not. Like I'm in complete control. I've had that same thought with like, other podcasts and stuff. It's like, dude, I should advertise my WoodyCraft server on there. That would be a blast. Then they'd have to say it. But of course that won't work. They're in complete control of what they get to say. It's not going to happen like I hope it will. They'll just get the money and they'll make fun of me and then they'll call it good.
No, I'd lay for the 30 seconds it took for her to hang up the phone. I would just lay into her, and that would be worth 2 G's to me. Whatever it is, you take it out of my cut if you want. Take it out of my end. Don't care.
We'll never
Literally,
take it out of
take it
your
out of
end,
my end.
Yeah, but we get a real tranny. That'd be great.
I would love to have a trainee on the show. Wait, we've had a trainee on the show before. A trainee hooker, actually.
Yeah,
She was
really
just really
depressing.
we didn't have
sad.
her on camera though.
And that was really depressing. That was just sad.
Yeah, gotta tell them to perk it up, keep it positive. We want to hear all that horrible, sad Bangkok life story that you had.
Yeah, you can't give us more about where you're from because people from where you're from might find out that you're being a tranny here in America and
Murder you.
wow, heavy shit on PKA.
That was great. I'm gonna be like, so that's great. Tell us more.
Tell us about the a weird transition. Like, so now tell us about the biggest dick.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's where you want to go from there. Yeah, that was odd. That was a sad person that we talked to that night.
I was
So
like,
maybe we'll find a happy one next time.
I think if you pay money, you get a happier hooker.
I think so.
I think that's part of the deal.
That'll put her in a better mood. You guys need a whole new topic?
Yeah.
Sure.
Would you rather have a flying car or a terabyte internet connection?
Flying car.
Now this isn't even terabit, terabyte.
It is terabit, but who cares at
It was
that point?
1,000 terabits.
That's 1,000 Google gigabit connections.
I don't even know what I can do with
flying
that.
car.
Do I know how to operate the flying car?
Yes.
Do I have to learn it? Okay. I could go with the flying car because I can't even begin to think of anything that I can do with terabit besides
I would totally
DDoSing
go for the
people.
terabit connection. A terabit connection will let me host fucking Netflix. You know how much money I could make enough money with a terabit connection to buy a flying car. Like the terabit connection is so valuable. You guys, I don't think you reckon. Like it's not even the fact that I have the terabit, right? Because if I have a terabit connection, it's going to be limited by whatever website or gaming site or whatever it is that I'm like downloading from. But if I have a terabit, I'm DDoS proof. No one's hitting you with terabit attacks. That's not a thing they can do. If I have a terabit connection, I could rent out gigantic portions of that. A terabit connection is so much more valuable than a flying car. And a flying car solves a transportation problem I don't even have. If we're going to land a flying car, does it hover and drop nicely? It's really just a plane, right? That you can land on the road? I can drive on the road. I'm cool. Terabit connection all the way.
Yeah, you're making a good point here, but
Yeah.
I don't want a flying car.
I don't even want to fly myself. You know why? I can drive. Flying solves a transportation problem. I get everywhere I want to go pretty
it goes
much.
really fucking fast, Woody. Like 500 miles an hour.
That sounds
Yeah.
freezing. Or hot. I don't even know. If I pass it or something?
I think the leading edge gets really hot, but the trailing edge gets really cold.
Am I like re-entering orbit at 500? I'm really not sure, but it sounds horrible. I don't want to fly at 500 miles an hour. I bet that sucks. I think I'd rather have a terabit connection than fly like that. I had a
would not.
motorcycle. I have 3 motorcycles. It's pretty uncomfortable to even do that. I don't think flying is
It's
going
in
to be
a car, though. There's a cockpit.
right.
Yeah,
so-
you're shielded from the outside.
But,
from the elements,
Yeah.
how is a flying car that much better than a driving car?
because
It
it's
does
flying.
both.
Yeah, duh.
It goes 500 miles an hour in the sky. No traffic ever.
I don't think it
It's
does
vertical
that.
landing capability.
Are you familiar with the terabit connection? If you
Are
had
you
a terabit
familiar-
connection, you could easily work out to have an
Getting to
income
Florida
of like,
in like 2 hours?
Have you seen the Jetsons, Woody? That's what they got. That's
okay,
the flying cars
you
I'm
can
thinking
have a
of.
Jetsons car, which by the way you already have like comparable alternative workarounds for, or
Yeah,
a
incredibly
terabit connection,
expensive ones.
which has to be worth like $1 million
Or the
a year.
maintenance on a plane is?
$1 million a year. That's what you're giving
You
up.
have the crew too. You got to pay for fuel. It's incredibly
The
expensive.
fuel alone.
$1
every
million
time
bucks that
every
you
time
could
you
have
take a
your
trip.
own Gulfstream.
You see, you're coming at this from a business perspective.
I want to
I'm
take
coming
off
at
from my
I've
backyard,
got a
though.
fucking flying car. Because especially also if I get a terabit connection, I can't talk about it on PKA. People get mad at me.
You'd be like, hey guys, hop in the car. We're going to Florida.
Exactly.
We'll be in New York by noon.
Hey guys, hop in my Concorde. We're going to Europe. You want to have dinner in France? It's cool. I'll let the terabit connection fund all this.
Now you see, you answered the question that wasn't asked. You asked which would you rather start a business with, and that's obvious. We answered on a more personal level, and I think a flying car is really cool.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, just move to Chattanooga, Woody.
You get to do whatever you want with it. If you had said, I'm going to start renting out my flying car, it's going to
I can
change
get
my
what
life.
you're talking about by moving to Chattanooga. You make a flying car that easy.
No, Chattanooga will get you 1/1000th of what a terabit will get you.
Oh, really? Oh, that's what's a terabit.
It's a gigabit.
Ooh.
Terabit, baby. Terabit.
Oh,
Life-changing bandwidth.
that is a lot of bandwidth.
It's a
somehow
1,000
missed it.
Google fibers.
Yeah.
You could have
And
a data center. As a matter
don't
of
really-
fact, you know how much data centers have? A good data center will have 1/3 of a terabit.
Wow, that's a lot.
It is a lot.
I have a question, Woody. Like, I don't know how actually, yeah, I don't know how servers work.
I'm listening.
Like, could you theoretically run a server, not necessarily a good one, from just any old internet connection you can get, or is there something special, not in terms of speed, but about the type of internet connection that data centers and hosters have?
Yeah, you could run a server off anyone. I could put a
okay.
server on, at your house before the show's over.
Okay. All right. So then, all right. Yeah, the terabit thing's really cool.
Do we want to talk about some of the PKA adventure ideas that we've been talking about?
Yes, and that's part of like
Let me,
back to the what is it called? Patreon.
Patreon,
yes.
yes.
I'm excited about where PKA is going, right? Because PKA for the longest time was just something that we did on Friday nights to hang out, or Thursday nights or whatever. Now it's PKA Plays, it's PKA Adventures, it's PKA the podcast. All right, Kyle, lay it out there.
I actually wanted to take a bathroom break before we started that.
Okay, lay that out there.
Is that possible?
I guess, yeah.
Okay, so you guys just kill time, and I'll be right back.
All right.
All right, killing time.
I think
Talk about your hair, Lefty.
I was gonna read my tweets.
Oh dear, read your hate tweets.
I don't know, just whatever.
You don't block those people? What's your blocking technique?
I block, dude. There's more than enough. You can block.
Oh, yeah.
You can block them every day and get more. Let's see. T. Martin, just Netflix. When no one is at your side, Netflix is. Netflix.com/Woody. Okay. Woody, can you talk about what to invest your money into in your next video, picking stocks, etc.? I actually meant to do that today, but I ended up working on WoodyCraft for like, I don't know, 11 hours straight or something, and I didn't make a video. Just cranking all day on that. Made great progress. Don't forget to wash the dogs.
Have you washed the dogs? We need an update.
I haven't.
You didn't, did you? Oh.
Where have the prank calls been? Let's see. Remember to wash the dogs, dude. Let's see. Somebody wants me to look at their support ticket for WoodyCraft. Someone said I'm a money whore.
Were they just like, I'm a money whore? Like, hey, just so you know, Woody, I'm one too.
No, it said, Woody, you money whore. And then it shows Woody's wood shop. Have your favorite photo engraved on wood from your camera, Facebook, and cell phone. So apparently David here thinks I'm a money whore because there's a shop. He's joking, obviously, because there's a shop with my name on it. More tweets from Woody. Have you had any contact with Cosmo? He's allowed on Twitter, apparently. No, I didn't know that. Do you know who Cosmo is?
Yeah, I've heard the story, yeah.
So for those that don't know, here's the fast forward version. A couple years ago, this guy Cosmo hacked my Xbox Live gamertag, and he took it and then started like sending out weird messages to all the people on my friends list, added himself, etc. And it was so then he told me to reach out to him on AOL, like the instant message service, and I talked to him, and I was being like super nice, like, you know, dude, I don't know how'd this happen, you know, is there something you're looking for, can I have my gamer tag back? And he's not being nice. He's saying stuff like, your breath smells like cum. So it didn't. And
not at that time.
yeah, not
Perhaps earlier.
or later. But anyway, over time, like, I was gonna say we got to be friends, but I don't know. He's a social engineer kind of genius. Like he specializes in making people think what he wants them to think. So I was always really cautious. And he said he was protecting me. And it just felt like this whole like mafia thing. Like if you introduce yourself to somebody by stealing something from them and then making Microsoft take it back and give it to you, then, because that's how I got it. Step 2 was the lead guy at Microsoft at the time, and I had all my subs tweet him, got his attention, and he fixed it for me. So Cosmo never gave it back to me, but suddenly we're friends, and he's like protecting me, but I don't really know, and in truth, I kind of wish I never met him, but he might have been helping me all along, or he might have just been wanting me to think he'd been helping me. Eventually, he got busted, and a lot of people think that he like got into all this trouble in court stuff because of me. That's not the truth. The truth is he also was involved in stealing like thousands of credit card numbers, and that's what he got in trouble for. And so for this credit card fraud, what they did to him is they made him not use computers until he was 21. Now the guy was like 16, I think. So those are like some pretty prime years. He had like 5 years of not being able to use a computer, and that was his punishment. But they're telling me apparently he's allowed on Twitter. So either he's violating his parole or he's allowed on Twitter. One of those things.
Or somebody's pretending to be him.
Oh, I didn't think of that. That could be a thing too. So
I mean, I'm sure that as a thing of that, you know, if you're violating your parole, that's a pretty serious deal if you violate that kind of parole. Like, they don't like that. Just a thought.
So more tweets. Check out my first episode of Hunger Games. Finally got my mic working. I think he played on WoodyCraft.net. This guy, hey Woody, I have a quick question about masturbation. If I got shot in the head while ejaculating, what would happen? Any ideas?
You'd die, I think.
Yeah, I think you'd die. You'd probably finish out your ejaculation. I'm not really sure. What else
that'd
do
be,
I get tweeted at?
Pretty instantaneous death.
Yeah, but doesn't your body finish what it started, you think?
Yeah, I think once you, I don't think at that point the ejaculation is tied to your brain anymore. But
Right,
what are we
right.
coming back to?
We're reading my tweets and
somebody asked what happens when if you're about to finish and you get shot in the dome piece and your brain shuts off. Do you finish?
Yeah, you finish. Totally, right?
I would think,
Yeah.
I would think that
Probably
at that
the
point,
messiest finish of your life.
yeah. Oh, I
viewed
had
in total.
tweeted earlier today, or maybe it was yesterday, that we won that soccer game 0-1, right? Because even though we lost it, we moved on. And a lot of people were telling me that I had the score wrong. USA, we won 0-1. And they totally didn't get what I was saying.
No. That's going to go right over some people's heads.
Yeah. But we could talk soccer a little bit.
Really?
But first of
As
all,
long as we call it soccer and only soccer.
well, I mean, England calls it football, and they lose. We call it soccer, and we win.
we advance.
So, I mean, I think we've earned the right to name it.
Yep, pretty much.
Why would
It's
you?
ours
That's
now.
how it works.
Why would some other country name it when they don't win?
Yeah,
Because they
right.
invented it?
Who invents soccer? It's kind of just you discover it, right? You
Yeah.
kick something.
It's like a tech in civilization. You've discovered soccer. We've researched it. We got it now. All right, moving on.
And Dr. Chiz said that he would eat. What did he say he would eat if U.S. advanced?
I don't remember.
It's something dreadful. I think it was shoes. He said he would eat his shoes if the United States moved on. And apparently, he asked on Twitter how to do it, and they said in a broth. So I think he should totally make a video of him eating whatever it is he promised to eat.
That would be awesome.
That can't be good for you.
No.
You know,
What's in a shoe? What do we got?
Other if you're lucky.
to go nerdy on this, don't issue credits that your PayPal balance can't cover. Don't let your mouth issue credits that your PayPal balance can't cover.
That your PayPal
that didn't work.
Doesn't have sufficient funds to cover.
Yeah. Anyway, don't let your mouth write checks your ass can't cash. So the guy said that he was going to eat, I think, shoes if America advanced, and America advanced. So Dr. Chiz, giddy up. We'll accept a broth.
That would be awful.
It will be awesome. I think that's what you meant to say.
No, that'd be awful.
Yeah.
Do you think Nike tastes like Indonesian food? Do you think that's how they taste? They say Indonesian.
Child labor.
Yeah.
Another one
So-
asking me if I watch the dogs. So,
We sat around and thought of a lot of places to go for little PKA trips.
yes.
And the last thing I heard, the leading candidate was Ohio to that theme park.
I thought we were going to do the Texas hog shooting thing first. Isn't that one locked in? Or it's not?
It's being worked on.
So the idea that we started with was we were going to fly around in helicopters and shoot hogs or pigs. I don't even know the difference.
Both.
So, Kyle, do you want to tell the story behind that, or you want me to go?
Well, hogs are a nuisance species in Texas, and you can kill them by pretty much any means necessary. So hopefully we can
they're
set it up.
dangerous to people and property, and Texas has such a problem with them that they let people kill them for sport, including flying around in helicopters, blasting them away.
Yeah, as many as you want. No limit, no season. It's just an extermination warrant, really. And you get a couple guys up in like an R44, side by side, got GoPros everywhere, shooting out the side of that thing, and they fly you over the pigs, and you just massacre them with your assault rifle of choice.
Do they supply any assault rifles, or do you have to bring?
Yes,
your own?
actually they do, but we will be bringing our own, I'm sure.
Yeah, mine are all 223. I wonder if that's appropriate for a hog. I think it is, but more's better.
Nah.
You think I'm good?
Mm-hmm.
No.
More bullets.
Oh, do the bigger ones not tend to have 30-round cartridges or magazines?
Yeah, like a 308 would be like a 25 round deal. 20 most of the time. Yeah, that's the way to go. You want your 5.56.
That's one idea. Then the other thing we were talking about was going to Sandusky, Ohio, and riding. I guess they have 2 of America's 10 best roller coasters. What'd you say?
We were going to go to Sandusky, Ohio, and ride, and I just said Jerry.
Oh.
Jerry Sandusky.
Oh,
The child raper.
Yep.
all right.
We're going to ride
That's one way to go about it.
his penis. We're going to ride that.
And they have 2 of the 10 best roller coasters in the U.S. And I
I thought it was 3.
I'm pretty sure though.
Is there something we could work out there where we wouldn't have to wait in line?
Oh, Mr. Celebrity.
Yeah, they have the speed pass things. Yeah, we'll get like the good one of those.
I mean, I could. No, never mind. I'm in my chair. You guys wheel me around. We get to the front of the line. You guys are all my caretakers. Yeah, you guys are with me. I get to go. Let's go.
What if we did that for fun? What if we actually did that? Like brought you in a wheelchair, and I got you. I could get you a handicap placard, the whole deal.
We did it with
get to
Colin
sit down all day.
at Disney World. Not so much now, but when he was younger, he wouldn't tolerate lines like other kids would, and we got in front of all the lines.
That's awesome. I love
it's
going
pretty
in front of the
awesome.
lines.
Yeah,
That's my favorite part of that speed pass.
Not the rides. It's actually just walking past everybody waiting in line.
Oh,
You
it's
don't
great.
usually walk past. I don't know if you guys done. Oh, with a speed pass you kind of do, but with handicapped, you usually enter the exit, and then you just on the roller coaster as
On
it
some
approaches
rides, it's
everyone
like-
else.
On some rides, it's like that because they don't have a separate line built for it. But some rides, you have your own little walkway that's like all gold and stuff, and you get up there and you just pass all those sweaty people in line. You go
You're
straight
talking
to the
about
front.
speed pass, right?
Yeah, at Six Flags Over Georgia, and I'll get the VIP bracelet so that not only do I get to pass everybody, but then you get to ride the ride twice in a row. So they're like, not only you just pass this person, but that thought they were next. Now you come back and you look at them, you're like, nope, Not done yet. Think I'll go for another spin.
How much is it? $75? Did you say?
It's like ends up being like $150 a person for everything.
That's a legit amount of money, like for a family, though.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
totally. So because it's like 65 for a ticket, and then like like another 80 or 90 for the speed pass.
Oh, just double. Yeah, but even like 150 for a family of 4 is 600. That's a legit expense.
Yeah. But it's the only way I'll go. I promise you, you could go 4 times for the base price, and it wouldn't be nearly as much fun as going once and just paying the full amount for the speed pass.
My only reservation is if everybody has a speed pass, nobody has a speed pass.
They're expensive though.
I hope they're expensive
Yeah.
enough.
They have like
What a just a again. You called me a honky earlier, so I can get away with this. What a white person thing to say. Like, oh, I hope they're expensive enough so that the riffraff can't get into the rides on the Six Flags.
That's
No
exactly
riffraff
what I was
for me.
thinking. Like, don't charge $10 for this thing. I need it to have value. Like, I'm not moving into this neighborhood because the neighborhood's nice. I'm moving into this neighborhood because you can't. Like, that's the point. I learned early in life, like renting apartments. So my first apartment was $390 a month. It was low income housing. I split it with a friend, and below me was a drug dealer that beat his wife.
oh shit.
Yeah. And and later on, I got another apartment, and to tell you the truth, the dimensions and the building and the interior was roughly the same. What was better about the apartment was that I paid more, which meant that all my neighbors were capable of paying more, which meant I had better neighbors. Sometimes the whole point of the price is to make it a barrier to entry, and I hope that the speed pass is expensive enough.
So without getting into any more socioeconomics, when you pick up the gold speed pass at Six Flags Over Georgia, I don't. It's expensive enough that no one else does it. You rarely see other people doing it, and like it'll be on the big rides, and you'll be there with like a couple of people, like at tops. Like
I wonder what
you
it's
literally
like
take
inside
this.
Dusky, Ohio.
There's like a bronze, a silver, and a gold, and the more you pay, the more time it takes off the current wait time, and by the time you get to the gold, it just turns it to nothing. So you just go to the front, and some of the rides like Monster Plantation is a cool ride that like lots of families want to do because it's like a 6-person boat that goes through this wacky like trippy animatronic thing with music, and I like that shit. So we did it 4 times in a fucking row because why not? It's just
I wonder what would allow Kyle to enjoy such an experience as riding in a boat with some.
the comfort of a good lady.
I once got stuck on "It's a Small World" when it like got stopped. It'll make you crazy.
I wouldn't like that at all.
No, the song just
Sounds terrifying.
it's a small, and you're looking around and you're stuck on it. You're like, I could totally walk out of here, even though you're surrounded by water and everything. You're like, dude, the land is like right there, and there's like doors you can see, and I could just get out. Not trapped.
How deep
here.
is that water anyway? It's like
18
Probably
inches.
yeah.
It's not deep, and you can step on the rail that guides the little boat. So, and that's like 3 inches deep. Like your shoe would barely be wet. Well, it'd be wet, but yeah.
But like all the big rides, like the big coasters, like Batman, Superman, Georgia Scorcher, and all that stuff, I always ride all of them like at least twice, and most of the times 4 times. I think they have something really similar at that park in Ohio. So, and that's the goal, right? Like I don't want to be like, so here are the things I won't ride, and there are things I won't ride, not because I'm scared of them, but they literally just give me motion sickness, and I'll throw up and feel crappy all day. Any like those swings, the things where you get in the seat suspended by chains and it lifts you up like 100 feet and spins you.
I can
It's
do
no go
those.
for me. I can't do them.
Can I go next?
Teacups, the ones. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
The teacups I'm with you on, but where I was going to go is the gravity one where the floor drops and then they like lift you up and hold you sideways and you get sucked
Yes.
to the wall.
Can't
Everyone
do that
puts their
one either.
arms in front of them just to see if they can resist the gravity. That makes me feel bad.
Really bad. It ruined my last trip, and I didn't even want to eat my fried Twinkie.
your fried Twinkie.
Oh my god! Like, so at the carnivals, they especially in the South, I guess they deep fry stuff. So you can get a deep fried Twinkie, you can get a deep fried Oreo. I think they deep fry like Snickers bars and stuff like that. And you would think that would be awful, but it's actually the most delicious thing in the world. A deep fried Twinkie on a stick is like, that's what God's finger tastes like.
I thought you were going to say God's flaccid penis or something.
Oh, God damn it, Lefty. Oh, why did you say it? Oh, that's awful.
What?
Just terrible.
It couldn't be God's hard penis. That's
No,
really small for the GOD.
Well,
Size
that's
of
where
the
the
Twinkie?
Twinkie insides would kind of work in God's hard penis,
I
right?
don't like
Like the cream.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, perfect. It makes a lot more sense, really, than his finger.
So yeah, the thing where the floor drops out and spins around, that's a no-go. I'm okay. So the one thing I'm most afraid of is those rides that like pull you really high up and then just drop you. Those scare me. I get genuine terror when I ride
It's
those,
funny,
but I'll do them.
Being the motion sickness guy, I thought I would have the most limitations. But the only thing I don't really like is the floor dropping thing. And like sometimes the ones where you manually power them to make yourself dizzy can be too much, like teacups.
Yeah.
And
Right.
you know
Ones
the
with
tilt-a-whirl?
Yeah, like things with multiple axes.
The
that they're
tilt-a-whirl is like a child's ride that just gingerly goes in a circle and up and down. But if you ride it with like asshole teenaged friends who make it spin at Mach 1,
They
then it
spin
gets
that
you
wheel in the
sick.
middle.
Yeah, it makes you sick.
Yeah, I remember I threw up on a kid once when I was younger. I was sitting between my friend and his younger brother, and we were on like, I don't know, it was one of those type rides where you're like in a little cart and it's spinning on multiple axes. Like there's a big circle and then there's a smaller circle that your ride is sitting on, and the ride itself spins within the smaller circle, and it all spins around and around, and it gets fucking crazy. And at one point, I know I'm gonna throw up, and I'm just like, I look at my friend, I look at his little brother, and I'm like, yeah, you're getting a little man. And I just puked all over his lap, just candy apple and chili dog. It doesn't get much worse. And he had these white sneakers, and it just ruined them. It was a real mess. But so yeah, none of that. But as far as like roller coasters, like going fast, going up high, I got no problem with any of that. I'm not afraid of anything. Just get really sick on those spinny things, and it will ruin my day.
Well, I'd be afraid the whole time, but I mean, I could set aside my fear and do it. I mean,
I wonder what airport. There must be a good airport near Sandusky. It's a huge attraction in the U.S. We'll be able to get there.
Probably
hope.
so.
you
I've
gas
been-
up the G4, take it. You know what I'm saying?
Is it near Cincinnati?
I don't know.
Let me see.
I've been to Cincinnati before. It's kind of nice.
Do we need a new topic?
Well, we had some other PK adventure ideas that we talked. So we talked about the pig one. We talked about the roller coasters. There were some other ones floating around that were potentials, maybe.
What were you thinking of, the waterfall one?
No, I thought you guys had talked about something international.
That was Dominican Republic, the waterfall one.
Oh, that doesn't count.
Really?
Yeah, it's too close.
Okay. You want to go to Tibet?
Tibet seems like there's going to be a lot of walking involved, huh?
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, so the lefty's out.
Yeah, like I remember I watched
It's
an
got to
idiot
be
abroad.
wheelchair accessible wherever we go.
What about China? What about China?
We could go to the Great Wall. We could go to the Rainbow Mountains. We could go to just Beijing.
I kind of want to see that Rainbow Mountain thing, or maybe that spiral staircase.
That spiral staircase looked awesome. Do we still have
Yeah.
the link for that so I can show everybody?
I
It's
can
in
dig it up.
Skype, right?
Yeah. Here's the thing, like when the idea of PKA like goes places, my idea was we could do like a show from wherever we go, and that would be part of the bit of a PK Adventures. We do a show, we vlog it, and then like perhaps do a show, and I just don't know if going to Tibet or other assholes of the world.
All right, so maybe not that.
No. It's just that was my idea. I mean, that's
go
it for me.
somewhere with broadband. How about that?
Yeah, perhaps South Korea. Maybe we could go to Seoul,
Ooh,
check out
I'd like
Psy,
that.
hang out with
Now-
Psy, and
Now, I would like to go to South Korea, and we could visit the wall, and we could face down those North Korean soldiers.
yeah, right.
Yeah, I'm up for that, man. Let's do that. Let's grab one and pull them across.
Let's not do that. I don't.
That's what Wings would do. Wings would pull one over.
What are we
I would
talking
like
about?
to see that.
Pull what
Going to
over?
South Korea and go into the line, seeing the
What's it called?
The border.
The border.
30
I don't think the
38
border is
parallel
a
or whatever.
tourist attraction.
Yeah, we can go there, right?
I think
can get
we
close
keep
to
you kind
it.
of far from it.
Let me look at this. I want to see some hardcore border guards. Yeah.
Let's see.
Official
Adventure.
side of Korea tourism.
Is this the North Korea?
No, they have a website.
Oh.
Although it is really slow to load.
Could go to some place like Indianapolis. There's a bunch of places in America we just go hang out. I like the idea of a Colorado trip, Woody. I know, but
Dude, they have DMZ tours.
are you serious?
Yes, here, check this out.
So we could go into the demilitarized zone.
Not into it, but next to it.
All right, let's see how close you can get via these pictures.
Well, so far I've just seen like some wildlife and some pretty stuff, but oh, here we go. From the left all the way to the line, it looks like.
I-
Where are you seeing this?
Well, if you scroll down, there's that
He's looking
thing,
at
there's
the
that
blue one.
the blue one.
Oh.
Civilian access to the DMZ is strictly controlled. Certain areas restrict individual tourists from visiting the area on their own, making some tourist sites in the area available for sightseeing via a few DMZ tour packages offered by select travel agencies. Also, a visit to the DMZ often requires an ID card, passport, or other types of documentation for passport thing. The Dosan station. Oh, yeah, you get to see the line. You get pretty close. I think you get to see a North Korean.
Like we actually get to oh look, there's one. Oh,
You get to see one. I've never fucking seen one.
pretty
I've
sure
never
they look
seen a
lot
North
like-
Korean either. I'm not
What
sure
if we
they
get there and they're
exist.
blonde? And our government's been lying. It's our government who's been fucking lying, and they're like blonde-haired, blue-eyed, wonderful people.
They're all like
But they look-
6'5" and fit
Yeah.
and like really smart, educated. They're like, yeah,
Incredibly
what the fuck? Why
wealthy.
does
It looks
everybody
like the cast of Thor.
why does everybody hate us? Yeah, we got nice stuff here too. We just don't want to share it with you,
They have
Jack.
better internet than we do.
Welcome, Midgardians. Yeah, that's totally what would happen.
They want to talk about the Game of Thrones with you guys. Like, hey, did you guys check out the latest Game of Thrones?
Speaking
episode?
I
of
defect so fast. So yeah, we could go to South Korea. We could see Seoul. We could see some North Koreans.
You were the
Maybe we
people I
start an
could
international
barely
incident.
convince to leave the country, right? Then
Me?
we get on air, and suddenly it's go to the
What, me?
I was kidding about going to South Korea. I don't really,
I
don't really have a desire to go to South Korea.
I'm over here doing research because of your fake desires. Don't lead me on.
Yeah, I really want to go to the demilitarized zone. Hey, can we do a show there? Can we get the permits? And
I would love that.
that would be
If we
amazing.
just
That would
sat down
probably
with
be the best
my.
podcast
We're
ever.
here at the demilitarized zone.
I
Oh,
mean, I'm
later
being
half in the
serious about
show,
this.
we might
I think
be
we should
joined
start in
by-
the U.S., move our way to South America, and then branch out to Asia and etc.
Oh, please not South America.
What do you,
I'm
when you guys
afraid of
start
South
going to South America, that will be Woody and Kyle adventures.
What's wrong
Lefty
with
will be
South
staying in
America?
a gigantic. South America is what's wrong with South
You are
America.
so South Americanist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. I have no desire of any kind to go to Brazil or Chile or Portugal, or no, that's in. Never mind. Anywhere, Argentina. No, I'm good.
Dude,
Good.
we should
No,
take
I will go as north as you want. Like you want to go to Alaska? Let's make it happen. You
All
want
right.
to go hang out?
But what's
in
wrong
an
with South
igloo?
America?
The,
could go to
it's
Trinidad
a
and Tobago or
scary
something.
place ruled by like drug cartels with poverty and disease and poor facilities and.
And Woody, when you get into South American mode, you want to go like climb mountains and go into jumping on waterfalls and. You know, I'm looking around like, are these people equipped to get my ass out of
what
here
if they
I break
kidnap
my
us?
shit? And I don't think I can. I don't think
Just
they're equipped
don't
to do
carry
that.
more. All right, rookies. Don't carry more money on you than you're willing to have stolen. Carry enough that you can bribe anyone you need to. Get a tour guide that is familiar with whatever local mafia they have, and you're set. That's how you do it.
You see,
No.
those are hurdles that are like prohibitive to me going there because if I have to know a guy who's mobbed up to go there and not get kidnapped,
In the DR, I know a guy. We could go back to him.
If we go to Canada, then we just have to know a guy to like get some good food, man. Like, you
we're
know,
just
like
checking out Toronto. There's a lot of things to do in Toronto and doing all that stuff. We're in Colorado, whatever it is people do in Colorado.
yeah, we'll have a great time. I could go to Alaska. I could do Alaska. You want to go kill a bear? I'll go shoot one with a handgun. Like whatever you want. Like we could go eat a snow owl. I'll make that happen. But man, I just don't want to shoot at anything that I just don't want to get shot at. I think it's what I meant to say. I don't want to get shot at. And if somebody shoots at me, I don't want to get shot at. So if we could just avoid that.
It's not PKA Insomnia Cure. It's
I
PKA
don't want them
Adventures.
to put that tire around my neck and set me on fire, Woody.
I'm not
That's what they
saying
do.
we rent a boat and go hunting pirates. I'm just saying that we
No, I'd do
jump
that
off a
too if we
waterfall
could.
or something.
If we could be part of the private military corporations that are on like the cargo ships and they've got their own AR-15s. They just shoot at the Somali pirates that come at them.
There was a company, I talked about this in PK before. You got in expensive looking yachts, 45-foot, 52-foot sailboats, and went out there looking like a pirate victim. And then when they got close, you tried to kill them. And that was like a vacation tour idea. Brilliant.
Yeah, it's pretty hardcore.
Yeah.
I'm a little afraid of South America. I've always have been. Just don't think I want to go.
I don't share
it
that.
feels
I've
like
been
a
a
bad
couple
place,
times.
man.
It's not an issue. Trinidad and Tobago, party town.
You know what I'd love to see? I'd love to see Europe. Love to see it.
Europe's nice. I liked Italy was my favorite country in Europe, but I haven't been to UK.
I, of course, would like to go to Germany. Oddly enough,
I haven't been to Germany either. I've just been to some. I've been to Italy.
I'd like
I've
to
been
go
to
somewhere where the
France.
food is good.
I think
Germany.
Greece.
German food's good,
German food is good.
real good.
I don't
But,
know about that.
I don't know. You know what? I'd like to get some feedback on either the comments or the PKA subreddit. What you think a good PKA adventure would be? Go ahead, feed us some ideas. Keep in mind, the ladies here don't want to go to South America.
It sounds terrifying.
It sounds like
Can't
you
even
would come
take my
back
gun.
emotionally richer for having seen a
You want
culture
me to
different than
go
your own.
into battle without a weapon. I'm not going to do that.
Stop. You're not even going to see any people like that.
You don't know that. You don't know that. It happens. People get kidnapped down there. Highest
It
kidnapping rate
happens
in
all the
world.
time. They made a movie about it.
Lots of movies. You ever see
Russell
Man on Fire?
Crowe,
You'll be
Meg
that one
Ryan.
girl.
They made a movie. They make movies
I'll have to go
about silly
Denzel Washington
things.
and lose my life to bring you back. Putting explosives up people's butts and stuff.
You'll be fine. Is Nicaragua in South America? Central America. That's where that is.
I don't want to go into any of those scary fucking countries with their drugs and their poverty and their violence and their third world governments who can't rule themselves and they're scary. And they won't let you bring your own guns.
Like to go to Vegas, play golf, catch a show, do a show, get a nice hotel room, gamble a little bit, and then come home emotionally richer for not having been shot at by the guy who was mobbed up, who turned on us at the corner when we pulled out a cell phone and was like, oh, that's the new one, and then just, now
I like shooting
play
stuff.
golf.
So any sort of hunting trip where we kill things, those are always fun.
I want to hear
I've
some
always wanted.
sub ideas. I want to hear the sub say, dude, I've got a thought. You should go to whatever, the Mediterranean and sail across it. That's a terrible idea for me, by the way. I get sick.
Yeah, man. I know you want that, but
I want that so bad. Oh my God. I'd have sailed to Europe by now from North Carolina if I know that I wouldn't be sick before I got out of the Gulf Stream.
So there's no getting over it for you? Like if you go on a cruise, can you handle it, or is it just all
this
the time?
low grade, not feeling well for weeks. We took it. What was the last one we went on? We departed from L.A., took a giant cruise ship with wings under it to keep it stable to Hawaii, and then we went from Hawaii to Mexico, then back up to L.A. I didn't get used to it. I did not feel sick after a while. I desperately looked forward to land each day.
Yeah, that's no
We do a
good.
PK cruise.
we just established why we shouldn't do PK cruise.
No, so what? Woody's feeling a little bad. I mean, you go on we're in port days. You're fine, right?
That's
You're
true.
all right.
On port days, I'm fine.
There we go. See, so we just pick a cruise that doesn't have any at sea days, and we're good to go.
That's not how cruises work.
You can get one where you're not. maybe one sea day.
You're
Okay,
thinking of a ferry boat in the Mississippi. We could do that.
there we go. Yeah, we can do a riverboat.
We should probably stay off of boats. I'm up for a lot of things. I like things that involve guns, of course. And I think that would be fun to hunt something, to shoot something. I think it would be fun to just go somewhere we've never been before and do a show from there. Like the Canada would be a pretty easy one. Somewhere there, I've never been to Canada, but I'd be willing to go to fucking Amsterdam or Italy or the UK or Iceland or any of those places.
Yeah.
New topic?
Sure.
All right. This is just a story I read on the internet. You guys familiar with the Today I Fucked Up subreddit?
Yes.
Yeah, it's all over the front page now. Are they in default now?
Oh, I don't know.
They're all over the front page, and they never used to be.
I'm not sure where this will go as a topic, but let me read it to you. Today I fucked up by urinating on a girl. After she had hinted for about a week that it would be a turn on if I urinated on her, she said she hadn't done it before and that it would be a first for both of us. A couple nights ago, I finally did it in the shower on her leg. She quickly dropped to catch it on her face. Surprise, my stream stuttered, but once you start, it's hard to stop, so I resumed urinating on her awkwardly. Lo and behold, she had to bang right then and there, so we did it and it was awesome. Later, after we were having dinner, she casually mentions how weird it is that my pee tasted a bit sweet. So I jokingly asked her how she knows what it's meant to taste like. She didn't answer, so I left it. While cleaning up, she breaks down and tells me that she has several exes do it before. This was the last lie in a series of lies that ended the relationship. So far, not too bad, right? At lunch today, I was regaling a buddy with the story of how I ended things with a urine-faced piss whore and ended it with, hey, at least she thought my piss was sweet, haha. My buddy's a medical student and immediately took me to a clinic. Today I learned I have diabetes.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Apparently his pee tastes sugary. And when he told his buddy about it, he found out he was diabetic.
That sucks.
That's awful.
I mean, like if any of you guys are out there,
that's one of the worst things I've ever heard. Yeah,
and you're thinking that you might have diabetes, maybe you have limbs that are going numb, or you just not processing sugar, you get hypoglycemic a lot. Pee on your loved one and see if she can help you with the diagnosis. PKA medicine.
That's just terrible. What a terrible time that guy has had.
I mean, really,
it's pretty bad.
He got what I think is the good end of the peeing.
Yeah, but then he found out that his girlfriend had been lying to him, and then he also subsequently found out that he had diabetes.
But his girlfriend also provided diabetes diagnostics at no charge.
That's true. I mean, you could glass half full. Fortunate that you found it that early, I guess, right? Like, because this guy had no inclination otherwise that he had diabetes or any kind of issue. So
right, but he's got sweet pea. That's another one of the upsides. You guys aren't really glass half fulling this. Not only did he get free diabetes diagnosis, but he's got sweet pea. If he meets another girl like this, it's too bad it didn't work out because,
This is horrible.
She would have totally dug it.
So this leads me to a question: is having diabetes in the water sports sexual underworld like having a big dick in the normal sexual world? It's like,
right?
Hey, baby, I've got diabetes type 2.
Yeah, you know what
she's
that
like,
means.
Ooh, I'm in for a treat. Yeah,
You've got diabetes and I've got a sweet tooth. Bring it on.
Oh,
I can see where this is headed, and by the way, youngins, if you're looking to get into water sports, in the shower is step one.
But why would
I couldn't do it. I could not do it.
It's not my fetish either. I'm just making jokes, but I did hear that on the Savage Love Show podcast. But yeah, apparently, if somebody wants to get peed on and you're looking for How to do it slowly, break it in. Is there a halfway to get peed on? In the shower is your answer.
And then you can test in the shower if they're into it, and they're like, "What's that? Oh, sorry, it's just I sneezed.
My bad. Yeah.
Sorry. I was aiming and you stepped into it. They're all pipes. Just use that George Costanza bit. Why are you peeing in the shower?
It was a drain.
It's a pipe. Don't judge.
It's a drain.
It's a drain.
George Costanza is one of the. I've been watching It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia a lot lately, and I realized that it's Seinfeld with much more evil people.
Oh, it's a much better show.
It is very, very dark. There was an episode where each of the characters had like a fantasy about like how if they stopped a liquor store robbery, how the rest of their lives would turn out, and one of the characters' fantasy was so dark and scary that it honestly disturbed me a bit. It was awful. It was that he would get shot in the head, and that he would be paralyzed from the neck down, and that the Channel 7 news reporter would be his nurse with her like huge boobs hanging out, and she would like spoon feed him and rehabilitate him until he was like a championship athlete, at which time she would then become paralyzed from the neck down in a car accident, and he would suffocate her immediately and like euthanize her. And when he was having his at the beginning of the fantasy, when he got shot in the head, he saw God, and he was God.
Was it Charlie who had that fantasy?
No, it was the one who's like super narcissistic, the brother.
The handsome one guy.
Yeah.
Dude, I love that show.
Oh, that was so dark.
Where is season 9? Did it happen in real life yet?
On Watch. Here, I can link you to it.
Okay. Oh, what was I gonna say? Oh, always, dude, that guy Charlie, the idiot on the show.
Yeah.
Who like is the janitor and such. He runs that show, right? He owns it. He was the executive producer. It was his concept.
Oh, really?
I hope I have this right. I think everyone else on the show is just an actor, and he's pretty much the Seinfeld of that show. He's like the executive producer, the lead, the guy who owns it. That he's the Charlie is the guy that made all that happen.
Well, that's cool because that's a really great show. Danny DeVito coming in the second season really makes it.
It helped a lot. Yeah, he had a role on a sitcom that he was going to take. He was offered a role on a sitcom, a pilot. This is Charlie. And instead, he kind of rolled the dice. He's like, well, on this hand, I've got this sitcom, and it's all green lit and everything, and it's I don't want to call it a sure thing because it was just a pilot. If people don't know what a pilot is, they do one episode and see if people like it. Or I've got this other thing, which is all mine, and it's my baby, and it's my dream, and if I can get a pilot for that and do it, then it'll be even better. And he rolled the dice and sort of ditched the sure thing, went with his own show, and now it's been on for 10 years. I think it's been signed for 13 years or something. Like, it's super successful.
I linked you to the 9th season. It's actually pretty good. I watched it the other day.
Nice. Do we need a whole new topic?
Yeah, I think so. I thought I had one, but I
got one.
On it.
Oh, go ahead. You do yours.
There's a North Dakota coffee shop that's doing something a little bit interesting. They're running entirely on the honor system. This is from 22words.com. In the town of Valley City, North Dakota, a former bank has been renovated and is now The Vault, a go-to coffee shop for the small community. Of course, it has coffee, tea, and a few pastries. Otherwise, it wouldn't really be a coffee shop. But it doesn't have what it doesn't have is what sets it apart: employees. Nobody works at the Vault. The owners, Kimberly and David Breck, stop by to keep it stocked, but that's it. Prices are clearly marked for customers who want to get whatever they want, add up their own total, and then swipe their credit card or slip cash or check into the slot on the counter. It's entirely run on the honor system. Is it working? Yes, it is. David said that while they aren't making money yet because of the cost of the renovations, revenue is 15% higher than if customers only paid the marked prices.
Wow.
Neat. Where is this
With
place?
no
South
employees.
Dakota?
Yes, North Dakota. Valley City, North Dakota.
Huh.
Good people, North Dakotans.
I guess so.
Good, honest folk.
It sounds like passive income, which is the amazing income, the great income. That's the income everybody wants, right? You see people who are making good money, but if they're working for their money, then they're only doing okay. I think I would rather have real estate that kicked off $300,000 a year than be a surgeon who made $500,000 a year.
Mm-hmm.
Passive income is awesome income, and it sounds like they found something close to that. I used to dream of owning a gas station. There's a gas station down the street from me, like I don't know, a couple miles away, and no one works there. It's just you pull up, you swipe your card, you fill it, and then you drive away, and that's it. All they need to do is make sure that like vandalism doesn't happen, and that the tanks are full. They set the prices, and that's it. Just a gas station. People drive up, exchange money for goods, and drive away. Like it seemed like the greatest business in the world. And I talked to a guy. He and his 5 brothers lived off 3 of them, and I was like, huh, that's better than a 1-to-1 ratio. So if one person had one of them, then that would be a good living, perhaps, maybe. I don't know. So passive income is great income. If you have any passive income, sure.
What were the
things.
hurdles to getting to the gas station done? Was it just?
It's really expensive. Like they want you to have. I could probably do it now, but at the time, they wanted you to have like, I forget. Your net worth needed to be like $1 million, and you had to have like $500,000 in like current assets or something, like stocks, bonds, cash, etc. And it was just like, wow, you already have to be rich to get rich. What a bummer. But that was the hurdle. Now I don't like everyone who owns a gas station seems to feel like they're not that good a moneymaker. That you sell pretty much at a loss because the competition's so tight, and the customers are so price sensitive, and it's the little quickie mart that goes with it that makes the money. And I don't feel like owning a quickie mart. That sounds like a ton of work. That sounds like imagine all the different inventory items that you have to like stock at your stupid quickie mart. All the little powdered donuts and toothbrushes and feminine hygiene products and apples and donuts and hot dogs and then you've got staff, and the staff isn't particularly well paid, of course, because you need your quickie mart to remain competitive. But staff that's not particularly well paid tend to steal and quit a lot, and you've got that to deal with. And I don't want to own a quickie mart. That sounds like a crappy business. Kind of business do you want to own?
What kind?
Yeah. Name it. If you had money to invest, what would you buy?
Let me think.
Car washes.
I know of
Lots
a
of
guy who
illegal
owns
labor.
car washes, and he does really well. I don't know the first thing about the car wash business.
Liquor barn.
Liquor barn?
Yeah, it's a big barn. You drive right through the middle of it, get your liquor, get out, drive straight through the building. I've seen them in Kentucky. It's badass. I don't even drink, and I thought it was cool.
They have them in North Carolina. I don't know if it's called Liquor Barn, but I know that they're in the Outer Banks here. You can.
It's a barn full of liquor. They call it a liquor barn.
I just know they have drive-through liquor stores. Yeah.
But like you drive straight through the middle of the building because the building's a barn, though.
I hear you.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure we're on the same page.
Like, just so you know, just so you're aware, you drive through the building to get.
Yeah. This isn't like McDonald's. Like you're inside.
Let me see if I can find a picture.
I found one. Apparently, Liquor Barn is like a franchise.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't find. There's a picture of a guy in a Speedo buying booze, which seems about right for a place called the Liquor Barn. God, look at all this stuff devoted to getting people drunk.
This is what it's called. In North Carolina, and I have to tell you, I think we beat you on the naming. It's called a brew-through, and it looks like this.
That's badass.
Yes. If you felt a bump, check for a body. Because there's no bumps. It's a brew-through, and there's pretty much little refrigerators. You don't leave your car. You open them, you take the beer out, and you check out.
I like it. Cool. I like it because if there's one thing I hate when I'm trying to get drunk, it's having to stop at the store. Who wants to do that?
Yeah.
I just want to get sloshed.
If there's one thing I hate when drinking and driving, it's trying to walk.
Right? What a great way to promote drinking and driving. Like, hey, have you never wanted to get out of your car and buy copious amounts of alcohol? Well, now you can with the brew-through. Go ahead and open it up while you're driving, why don't you? Do taste tests. Go for it.
Have like a wine testing inside your liquor barn.
Yeah.
Oh, business ideas. Guys?
HVAC.
What'd you say?
HVAC. Heating, venting, and air conditioning.
Really? Why is
Oh, yeah.
HVAC?
In the summer and in the winter, you've got people by the balls.
Oh, you evil bitch.
You own whatever, because what are they going to do? Oh, the capacitor blew on the thing. Oh man, are you going to fix it? No. Why? Well, then I get to charge you whatever I want to fix it.
Yes. And by the way, HVAC has this special culture around it. Cars are 50 times, 1,000 times more complicated than your HVAC unit. Yet there's tons of information and lots of people deal with it themselves. HVAC units, I think, are relatively simple, yet you can't Google how to fix it. There's no online manuals on fixing it. You can't go to Amazon and order more parts for your HVAC unit like you can your car. You just screwed.
Well, for your compressor units, actually you can. It's just an electric motor and an industrial size capacitor, and you can
I
do it.
tried to buy. I had the circuit board went bad on my HVAC unit, and yeah, it cost me so much to buy one that like the installation would have been free, which was the part I could do, and it's. Yeah, HVAC they do have you by the balls.
And the great part is too, if there's elderly people in the house or even in the winter, we had the Arctic storm or whatever this past winter, the Arctic, I forget what it's called. Anyway, really really bad.
It was that year 2000 negative 180-degree breeze that came straight down.
It was fucking cold, man. It was coming from Canada.
It was a
It was
movie.
cold.
So what you do is the heater, the furnace goes out, and you show up and you say, all right, yeah, I can fix it, but I got a lot on my plate right now. Next week I'll be able to get you in, or by the end of the week. They say it's gonna be negative 15 tomorrow. Yeah, I could do it today, but I have to bring in extra guys, and they're already overtime, so they're gonna get double time, and it's gonna cost you $15,000. And you might die. You get to leverage death against people. It's like you're a doctor, but you don't have to go through all the school.
I once used the baby angle. Like we needed heat. And they're like, yeah, it's going to be like 4 days. I'm like, man, I have a 3-month-old in there. Like, we need heat. And they prioritized us. I had a 3-month-old for what it's worth. I did. I needed heat.
But yeah, you want to make a ton of money? HVAC, start it. Shit, go to learn an electrical trade. Run it out of a van. You could probably compete with the big guys in your area and do really well. And then you buy 2 vans, and then an employee, and then.
This sounds like work. I think buying real estate and just collecting rental income. Cemetery. Why not buy a cemetery? Just hire a guy to mow the grass and collect the cash.
Who buries the bodies?
Eh.
The other guy?
Yeah, the guy with the excavator.
Yeah, that guy. You hired that. You
We
source
should
that
have-
out. You don't have to
We
do
can
it.
put that on a billboard out front. Mow the grass, collect the cash.
What a
Woody
dirty
Cemetery.
I got some land here. Want to bury your dead? That'll be $5,000.
Oh, you want to shine a stone for over the dead body, do you?
I can range that.
How big is your shiny star? I meant,
You
how
got a
much
box?
did you love her? Did you love her 1,000? That's so sad. Did she cheat on you? No. Oh, you loved her at least
Dirty
2,500.
business, man.
Or the greatest part is owning like a funeral parlor, because the municipalities bring the bodies to you if the morgue's full, and so you've got dead grandma in the basement, and some guy's like, all right, well, and you're like, okay, let's talk burying grandma. I got her downstairs. You can come get her if you want.
Yeah.
Or
Oh, gosh, if you need to come
or
get
I
her,
can get her ready.
you drive like a pickup truck or a station wagon, you be good. You don't want to do that? All right.
Yeah, I don't think I'd want to be part of a graveyard. I don't think that's my business of choice.
Suddenly you're taking the high road.
I'm just saying. I think it'd be a little creepy. At some point, you're going to have to deal with some dead people.
All right.
Yeah.
What's your business then? Come on, lay it out
I
there.
told you, get the car washes going.
Car wash, huh?
You're talking the automatic car washes, not like the places that
You got a couple guys out front spraying stuff on your car, handing out wipes, selling stuff. but you got a big, one of the really expensive laser wash things. Actually, you know what I would do? I'd open a fast food place called Cookout. Have you been to Cookout?
No.
It's incredible. It's so fucking good. Like literally, there's one in East Atlanta. I haven't been there in a couple weeks, but last time I was, for the first 3 weeks it was open that I was aware of it, the line was around the building. Like they had to put out road cones, and they had 5 guys outside working, so the line could operate. But it was literally a 30-minute wait for fast food, and it's so fucking cheap. And it's really, really good fast food.
Not for me, man. Restaurant is my personal nightmare. Like there are people, like if you go higher end restaurant, they enjoy cooking, right? So they want to take their hobby and turn it into a job, right? I think it's called avocation. There's a word for it. And, like we've all done with YouTube at one point. Anyway, they want to take their hobby and turn it into a job. So they open a restaurant and then they start cooking and working and they pull 80-hour weeks. Or if maybe they're just working for someone else, they don't open a restaurant, but they want to be a chef, and they start on the line and they work their way up, and it's slippery and it's hot and their fingers are always cut and burnt because that's the nature of the job, and they just pull big hours. But for them, cooking is cool.
Fast food place, man. It's a franchise. You hire people.
Dude,
it's like running a Burger
I don't want
King.
anything. I don't want to smell it. I don't want. Have you ever worked in a
It
restaurant?
smells so good. No, this place smells like love.
They never smell like love. They smell like
This place
dumpsters.
smells
That's
like
what
love.
they actually smell
They
like.
have like 30 milkshakes. They have like 18 different kinds of hot dogs, like 4 kinds of French fries. Like you get a combo. Their combo isn't even like a normal place's combo. You get like a half-pound hamburger, like a large order of Cajun fries, a chicken quesadilla, and like some salsa or something. Like it's weird. They have all kinds of crazy
I
combos.
want to be a customer, but I do not want anything to do with owning or working in a restaurant. That's my personal nightmare. It's not for me. You know what I did as a kid? I rented out beach umbrellas. That'd be a neat business, right? It's like totally low cost, and then you just collect cash.
Beach umbrellas.
$1,000 a day, I bet.
Really? That's some
Across
that
an
is some-
island? Yeah. I mean, that guy easily had like 10 units. We all did more than $100 a day, I think.
I'm still going with my HVAC idea. I think I'd make a killing. Killing it.
So during this most recent Steam sale, I've been gifted a lot of games. Lots and lots of games have been gifted to me, and so I've downloaded them all and I've started modding them, and I'm really enjoying myself over here. I've got Skyrim modded the fuck up, and it is interesting.
So tell me about these Skyrim mods that have you enjoying
Well,
yourself.
they do everything. Like there's nothing that you can't change. Apparently, the crabs are cursing. The paper looks real. There are naked women if I want them. I haven't
Are
went
those the
that
ones
far
that
yet.
have you enjoying yourself?
No, I actually haven't downloaded those yet. I haven't tried them at least.
So now what you need to do is attach a fleshlight to your computer, so you
There's,
can fuck your computer while you're playing.
Yes. Can you play
Skyrim.
this on an iPad? Can you attach the fleshlight? Can you go like dual screen on this thing and then get your iPad? Just trying to help.
Maybe.
I know you've been enjoying yourself, but I think you're enjoying yourself this much when you could be enjoying yourself this much.
I that's not the experience I want from Skyrim. I don't think.
You say
But I
there's a
have been
vagina
enjoying
mod?
it. There is. You can decide exactly what you want it to look like. I mean, exactly. There are a lot of sliders.
So this one you've installed.
No, there's like pictures of it, like when you like click the mod, and there's like they show you what the mod does. I'd let you know if I had the vagina mod. I just don't.
I'm just having fun with you.
But yeah, I'm really enjoying it so far. I'm gonna try to do some Fallout too, some Fallout New Vegas modded up. I think there's a mod where you can actually combine Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas into one mega game.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a hell of a mod. I really wish I could get. I really need to look into getting Fallout 3 working on my PC, because it does not work well with more than dual core processors. Apparently, it freaks out. It doesn't like it. But
New Vegas is the good one anyway.
You like New Vegas better than 3?
Oh yeah, it's much better.
What are the reasons for that?
It's a better story. I don't care for the third story. I like the story of the courier better than the story of the kid looking for his dad, who's Liam Neeson. Like, I don't even think I ever found Liam Neeson. I just lost interest. But like in Fallout New Vegas, you're the courier. You're kind of stuck in the middle of a lot of powerful groups, and you kind of you decide whether you want to go with the Legion or the NCR, whether you want to set your own course and rule everything yourself. And the DLC is great. The Dead Money was great in my opinion. It's like Old City Blues. That's nuts. I'm still in the middle of that one. Lonesome Road is is really good. It's a great game.
I don't know. I never met the Legion. Like, I played through the game once, never met the Legion. Never met them.
Hardcore. They got slaves and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I would fight them, but I was always just like, it was so clear to me that the path was laid out like you're supposed to like the NCR and hate the Legion.
It's pretty cool to side with the Legion, though.
I want to play this game. I'm so curious about. I'm sorry I made it about me, but like, I don't know.
Today's a particularly good example. I woke up at about 9 this morning, and it's 12:30 a.m. the next day. I haven't had an unproductive second, like unless you count like stopping to eat dinner. But like, yeah, I haven't seen any TV. I haven't goofed off. I just work all day.
Fallout New Vegas, $4.99 on Steam right now.
Every minute.
You want to? You should get all the deals. You should get the Ultimate Edition and modify it, make it look real pretty.
I wonder what I have.
Do you have it already?
Yeah, I have something. I'm checking.
Just go to the library, right-click on it when you see it in your library, and then click View Downloadable Content. You'll see what you should have.
Fallout New Vegas, View Downloadable Content. Oh, yeah, it's all check marks. I think I've got it all.
Okay, so then yeah, you got everything. Yeah, man, totally play that. It is a fun game, especially when you mod it. You get some of the weapon mods are kind of wonky. They don't really work well. You've got to balance like does this weapon mod.
But it's a lot of hours, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can just you can play through the story, but then you can also just explore and explore and explore.
That's my problem. I feel like I just don't see myself having like 100 hours for a game.
Yeah, it takes more than that.
Yeah. Sounds like if you really want to play it, here's how you got to play it. It's got to be.
I've played it all kinds of different ways. I like the exploring. I like as much as I like doing the missions from time to time, and I really just like ranking my character up and acquiring weapons and fucking shit up and exploring caves and stuff. That's what I do in Skyrim too. I love it.
Looking at my Twitter for some reason. We looked at it while you were gone. Guys like, come on, man. Where's PKA 186? I expect you to be pumping that up by now because you're on Adderall. We're recording it. And he's already wanting it.
Well, Adderall, it allows you to bend time, apparently.
We should get sponsored by Adderall. Oh, was that?
I was going to say, I got to get the rest of PK Play videos up. And then I'm going to start uploading that. What was that game that Worms?
Yeah, Worms Revolution. I uploaded 2 episodes of that already.
That is a great game.
Mm-hmm.
I should check that out.
Yeah, you need to get that.
I have it. I bought it.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Well, we need to find some time to play that, even if it's just for like an hour. Like you can get in some good fun in an hour.
That's the kind of game that's been more attractive to me lately. Like I work a lot. WoodyCraft's been under attack and stuff, so it has me working around the clock. And by the way, fixed in like 24 hours, completely perfect. So but like a game that you can play for an hour or something is pretty neat. Like COD was that way. If you had an hour, you could play COD. If you have an hour, it's hard. Like that's not
Can't
Civ
play
time.
Civ.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. You're not hopping on Civ or Fallout. You're like, I'm only getting to get 45 minutes of Fallout in. Nah, that's not how it works.
Yeah, but the Worms game, really fun. It's basically turn-based worm destruction. You're in this weird sort of Angry Birds environment where there's destructible stuff, and each person has 3 worms. You name your worms, or 5 worms. You name any amount you want. You name your worms, and you have like a toolbox full of weapons you can use against each other. And you open your toolbox when it's your turn, decide which weapon you want to use, and you fuck the other worms up because they can't move. It's turn-based.
Can you win? I feel like if I play against you guys with experience, I'm just gonna get the floor.
We don't have too much experience. We just play.
No, we're still killing each other or killing ourselves a lot.
Yeah, so. It's really hard to we kill ourselves more than anybody. Like it's hard. It's hard for us sometimes. It shouldn't be, I don't think, though.
It's like air hockey, where if you don't score on yourself, you have extreme advantage over the other person.
I said that not the air hockey, but I said, the name of this game is just don't hurt yourself. If you can go a whole game without killing yourself, you'll probably win.
Yep. And that's the part about it being turn-based is if you screw up, if you miss with your rocket shot, or if you jump too high and you take fall damage, your turn's over, and there's no defense. It's purely offense and just getting power-ups and shooting at other worms.
I think there's defense, but we just don't do it. There's like some sort of kinetic shield you can use, but there's a baseball bat too, so that's more attractive.
Yeah.
Do you guys need another topic?
Sure.
So Kyle, are you familiar with Ann Coulter?
Yes, very.
Can you describe her for our audience?
Super conservative, right-wing political figure for some reason. She's a writer. She's an author. You'll see her a lot on like Sean Hannity's show, various Fox and Friends, that sort of thing.
I think that's completely fair, and I would add sometimes a bit of a troll. Sometimes she'll take right-wing positions. She's
very waspy looking, really thin, but still pretty attractive, I'd say.
I wasn't going for the physical troll, more the internet troll kind of thing, where I think sometimes the things she says are just designed to be a lightning rod.
Sure.
So she wrote this article. I've held off about writing about soccer for a decade, or about the length of the average soccer game so as not to offend anyone. But enough is enough. Any growing interest in soccer can only be a sign of the nation's moral decay. Individual achievement is not a big factor in soccer. In a real sport, players fumble passes, throw bricks, or drop fly balls, all in front of a crowd. When a baseball player strikes out, they're standing alone at the plate, but there's also individual glory in home runs, touchdowns, and slam dunks. In soccer, the blame is dispersed, and no one scores anyway. There's no heroes, no losers, no accountabilities. No child's fragile self-esteem is bruised. There's a reason its perpetually alarmed winner are called soccer moms and not football moms. Do they even MVP in soccer? Everyone just runs up and down the field, and once in a while, a ball accidentally goes in. That's where they're supposed to go wild. I'm already asleep. Liberal moms like soccer because it's the sport in which athletic talent finds so little expression that girls can play with boys. No serious sport is co-ed, even at the kindergarten level. No other sport ends in as many scoreless ties as soccer. There was an actual marquee sign by the freeway in Long Beach, California about a World Cup game last week. Second period, 11 minutes left, score 0-0. 2 hours later, another World Cup game was on the same screen. First minute, 8 minutes left, score 0-0. If Michael Jackson had treated his chronic insomnia with a tape of Argentina versus Brazil instead of propofol, he'd still be alive, although bored. Even in football, in which by I mean football, there are very few scoreless ties, and it's a lot harder to score when half a dozen 300-pound bruisers are trying to crush you. The prospect of either personal humiliation or major injury is required to count as a sport. Most sports are sublimated warfare, as Lady Thatcher reportedly said after Germany had beaten England in some major soccer game. Don't worry, after all, twice this century we beat them at their national game. Baseball and basketball present a constant threat of personal disgrace. In hockey, 3 or 4 fights a game. And it's not a stroll on the beach to be in the ice with a puck flying around at 100 miles an hour. After a football game, ambulances carry off the wounded. After a soccer game, every player gets a ribbon and a juice box. You can't use your hands in soccer, eliminating the danger of having to catch a fly ball. What sets man apart from lesser beasts, besides a soul, is that we have opposable thumbs. Our hands can hold things. Here's a great idea. Let's create a game in which we're not allowed to use them. I resent the force-fed aspect of soccer. The same people trying to push soccer on Americans are the ones demanding that we love HBO girls, light rail, Beyonce, and Hillary Clinton. The number of New York Times articles claiming soccer is catching on is exceeded only by the ones pretending women's basketball is fascinating.
Okay, I'm there for that one.
I note that we don't have to be endlessly told how exciting football is. It's foreign. In fact, that's the precise reason the Times is constantly hectoring Americans to love soccer. One group of sports fans with whom soccer is not catching on at all is African Americans. They distinctly remain unimpressed by the fact that the French like it. Soccer is like the Mexican systems, in which liberals also adore because it's European. Naturally, the metric system is emerged from the French Revolution during the brief intervals where they weren't committing mass suicide by guillotine. I'm sorry, mass murder. And I'm almost done this. Despite being subjected to Chinese-style brainwashing in public schools to use centimeters and Celsius, ask any American for the temperature and he'll say something like 70 degrees. Ask how far Boston is from New York and he'll say about 200 miles. Liberals get angry and tell us the metric system is more rational than the measurements everyone understands. This is ridiculous. An inch is the width of a man's thumb. A foot is the length of his foot. A yard is the length of his belt. That's easy to visualize. How do you visualize 147.2 centimeters? I can't agree with her on that one. Soccer is not catching on. Headlines this week proclaim record U.S. ratings for the World Cup. And we hear about the growing popularity of soccer in the United States. The USA-Portugal game was a blockbuster match, garnering 18.2 million viewers. This beat the second most watched soccer game ever, the 1999 Women's World Cup final, USA versus China. In soccer, the women's games are as thrilling as men's. Run-of-the-mill regular season Sunday night football games average more than 20 million viewers. Playoff games get 40 million viewers, and the Super Bowl had 115 million. Remember when the media tried to force David Beckham and his permanently camera-ready wife on us a few years ago? Their arrival in America was heralded with 24/7 news coverage and lasted about 2 days. Ratings tanked. No one cared. If more Americans are watching soccer today, it's only because the demographic switch affected by Ted Kennedy's 1965 immigration law. I promise you, no American whose great-grandfather was born here is watching soccer. We can only hope that, in addition to learning English, these new Americans will drop their soccer fetish with time.
Nothing like a little racism to close out an article. Nothing like that.
Well, I went down a dark road there at the end.
Yeah, she was really like, and I want to talk about Mexicans now. That's what I wanted. You know what I haven't talked about yet? Mexicans. Let's talk about that now.
God damn it, Ted Kennedy's 1965 immigration law. People enjoy soccer now, you bastard.
She's been working on that bit for a while. She's like, I want to talk about Ted Kennedy's immigration.
I just saw it. I was like, she's going off the deep edge.
Yeah, look, I'm not the biggest fan of soccer. I can understand its appeal. It doesn't appeal to me. And I also agree that it's not catching on because it's not fast-paced enough for Americans, and we like fast-paced stuff. That's just the way it is. And soccer isn't fast-paced enough. You can create all the narrative you want.
Is football fast-paced?
It appears to be fast-paced, yes. It's not actually fast-paced.
No.
I'll accept that. Yeah. Because they play like 11 minutes over 3 hours.
Yep.
But those 11 minutes are really intense.
Yeah,
They
and
need
then
to stopping the fucking game and just let it roll.
Then it would be like hockey.
Yes.
Which is intense, but lower intensity.
Somebody
than
falls and
football.
gets hurt, then they just fell and they got hurt. Let's keep playing. Who fucking cares? We're running past them anyway. It's not like football. We're like going to grind in the spot. It's
Part
not
of
like
the
baseball.
team
Where they're
should
away.
just be medics, right? Like where they practice getting people off on stretchers,
Sure.
like pit crews.
Yeah, carry that fucker off. Get a new one out here.
It's a better sport.
I mean,
Can we get lacrosse sticks involved somehow?
No hands. Maybe put some of those big like rock'em sock'em gloves on them though. That'd be fun.
Oh, this is soccer we're talking about. I do
Yeah,
have an
soccer.
issue with the soccer fake injury thing.
Yeah, it's
All
bullshit.
Americans do.
And it's like it seems like they got the worst refs ever because they fall for it so often.
Right.
It's like, are you stupid? Like it's clear that nothing happened.
Yeah. And it
Everyone
seems
but
like
you, the decision maker.
in hockey, part of the game used to be that refs can't see everything. And a good hockey player would be aware of where the ref is and where he's looking and get away with stuff. So you know what they did? They added more refs. Now there's like, I forget if there's 3 or there's 4 on the ice all the time. I think there's 3. And it's hard to get away with stuff. In soccer, they need to step up their ref game so that players don't get away with stuff. I hate that getting away with stuff is a big part of soccer. It's stupid.
right, and then that forces the need for everybody to be flamboyant in the like, oh my god, and trying to induce calls. And I get people the rationale as well because they miss other stuff, and you've got to capitalize on the times where you are, whatever the penalties are. Well, yeah, that's the same. That's why flopping in the NBA exists, and that's why people or wide receivers in the NFL, if somebody breathes on them wrong in front of a ref, they're flying all over the place, throwing their hands up, and that's why that happens.
Wait,
and
in the NHL, you say people do that?
no, the NFL.
Oh.
In the NBA, I mean, NBA flopping, and they do it to get calls, but it's nowhere near as egregious in
Next
and
year, NBA, real life, real money fines for flopping.
Good.
Thousands of dollars docked from players for flopping like that.
And
about
that's
that?
what we do because you're not supposed. Come on. We call it Bush League. That's just Bush League. Don't
Yeah.
do it.
Get that shit
But
out of here.
It's like an art form in soccer, which I can respect the art form of it. But come on, play the game. Let me watch people run around and kick the ball.
Right. I want to be impressed by you, like dribbling through those slide tackles. Jump the guy. He'll still get a call. That in the right world, right? He'd still get a call. But you powering through it is awesome. That happens in hockey. In hockey, if you commit a penalty against me, we just get to keep going, and the second you touch the puck, the penalty begins. The second you gain control of it, it's not actually touch it, but as soon as you control the puck, then we start the penalty. Until then, we'll pull our goalie. Unless we score ourselves, we're cool. So we just drop the goalie, add another attacker on there, and we play as hard as we can. And if you manage to take the puck from us, we'll start the penalty. That's a much better system.
Yeah, but and again, soccer isn't for me. I understand it's the thing for many people. Okay, cool, good for you. And Coulter, this is very clearly just lightning rod. I'm going to say things so that people will pay
He's
attention.
Trolling. I'm to say I'm getting into soccer is kind of a stretch, but I am enjoying it. Last Super Bowl, I couldn't tell you who played. Did the Ravens play?
It was the Broncos and shit.
Broncos lost it, right? Because
the Broncos
Peyton Manning always
lost.
loses, and then another team won it. Was it the Ravens?
Yeah, it was a bird team, right? I don't watch football.
It was.
Was it the Eagles? No, it was not the Eagles.
No, it was not the Eagles.
Seahawks?
That's
Yeah.
right. Good call.
Really, the Seahawks won? Oh, there it
Yeah.
is. You're right. I googled it.
Pete Carroll,
All right.
genius coach. But,
So that shows you my level of interest in the Super Bowl. I'm paying much more attention to. I mean, I bet if you ask me 6 months from now which teams advanced out of the brackets, I'll be able to name like 6 of them or something. I'll have gone way further.
I really like the action in soccer when there's action. And I do like the tactics of advancing the ball forward. And I used to hargo you pass it backwards, idiots. But the strategy of working the ball around to try to find a hole in the defense, I'm like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. I just want more of the action. I want more corner kicks. I want more, shots on. I want shots on goal, not goals, but I want more action around the respective nets. Give me another player, one more, just one more each side, more or shorten the field, something.
Another forward, maybe.
Yeah, give me more attackers.
Maybe what
more,
you
a
want
little
is
bit more
one
action.
defenseman instead of 2.
Perhaps.
Maybe 2 goalies and a bigger net and trap doors.
Small explosives.
And power-ups.
I really want the trap doors. I want those fuckers to be running along full speed, and one of them just disappears into the earth, and then the door flips back up. Maybe he makes it back, maybe he doesn't, but he's going on a journey now.
He's going on a journey, and they all wear GoPros. Dude, so I'm actually liking soccer. I'm taking an interest in it. I'm not watching a lot of the games because I don't have live TV or anything. But when I know America's playing, I'm excitedly awaiting the result of that game. I'm sort of wrapped up in World Cup fever, even if I'm not watching every game. So
You know who's not wrapped up in World Cup fever? The people of Brazil. Or at least the people of Rio de Janeiro and wherever there are cities and or arenas and stuff.
Those
Funny
poor
how all the
people.
protests and stuff aren't making it to the World Cup coverage, all that stuff. And it was really funny because when FIFA came in, before the World Cup started, in an effort to curb hooliganism, there was a law passed in Brazil that outlawed beer sales at stadiums. But
yeah, that'd been long-standing though because there were so many deaths.
right, but FIFA comes in and they've got Budweiser as a sponsor, so that's got to go. Now they're selling kegs of Bud Light and whatever all over the place. It's just okay. And I have a hard time just even getting behind.
Yes, FIFA made Brazil change the law.
Such a corrupt organization is FIFA. The NBA, the NFL, and the MLB all corrupt, all very bad. FIFA makes them look like good Samaritans, like they're the Salvation Army to FIFA. FIFA is that corrupt and just awful. FIFA didn't react to the whole you took bribes to bring the World Cup to Qatar thing with we're gonna fire people. They just responded with let's do it over again then. We'll vote again. Sure, yeah. No, I'm good. Same thing with the International Olympic Committee. Get that out of here. Not for me. Dead people.
So, we got a late start tonight. Do you want to do Game of Thrones talk and close it out?
I think it's too early. Lefty, how long's it been?
2 hours and 40 minutes.
I have more topics.
Or just thereabouts.
It's getting late. All right.
Lefty, what was your first kiss like?
It was a peck. That's all it was.
How old were you?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. What's that?
How old were you? What grade you in? How long had you known the girl?
It was 7th grade. It was my first ever dance function. And I had no idea what a dance was, and I'd heard about it in popular culture, and it was a girl. I never dated her because I didn't really know what dating was at the time. However old you are in 7th grade, were you 12? Maybe 13. So it was at this dance. It was outside after the dance, and we had gone. I forget how it was so long ago how we had gone there, and we did the slow dancing stuff and the whatever else there was there to do. I even forget. It was outside this rec center by my junior high, and it was the hug to say goodbye because her ride was there, and we just kind of parted. When you part from a hug, you just step back. Well, we didn't do that. It was kind of we just stayed in an embrace kind of, and she just looked up at me and I looked down at her, and then it was just a soft peck, and that was a huge boner from it. I was the first time I was like, whoa, this is awesome.
Back in the at that point, I would have a huge boner beforehand. Like I would have it all dance long.
You have to turn when you hug, oh, okay, yeah.
I once asked my wife, what do girls think of that? Like, if you're rocking a stiffy all dance long, and then there's a slow dance, are girls just kind of accepting of it? Yeah, boys gonna be boys, or are they oh my god, he has a boner? Just, what other thoughts does he have in his head? And she said that it's semi-understanding, but you're best off not getting caught with a boner.
There were a bunch of ones that I wouldn't count when I was I don't know, 13 or 14, but when I was 16 was the first one that meant something. We were watching Lord of the Rings, and that was the first real one that meant something. That was a real kiss. That wasn't just this is an experiment. It was like a love kiss.
Tongue, no tongue?
Little tongue.
Little tongue.
So there were there were a bunch that don't really count, right? There were like even in kindergarten, I had girlfriends and stuff, and we would peck on the lips, and I had a girlfriend one time in the early grades, first, that used to squeeze my cheeks unreasonably hard and kiss me and stuff. But that's not really first kiss. It's just, I guess it is first kiss, but it's not the one that meant anything. The first girl that made out with me, her name was Dory. I'll leave out her last name. And we had moved into Ocean City, and for some reason we had more couches than we needed. So in the basement we had a stack of couches, right? So the couch, of course, is kind of U-shaped but square, and then you could put another one on top of it, and it's kind of a balancing act, but a double-decker couch. Bam. So we were on the second double-decker couch in the basement, which was kind of private, and our 12-year-old selves thought it was awesome. And by the way, the couch was up against a wall, so it was like couch wall that you're forced to like lay down on the couch. It's not as if you can do a seating position, and we would just sort of laying down on this couch, and if you get low, all of a sudden it's like a fort or something, and we were just macking, like kissing hard, and I think she had less than spectacular breath, but I was willing to overcome that because this was a girl willing to make out with me, and I was good to go, and I think. Like, I may have went straight down. I'm not thinking. I know. I got down her pants, too. So I got, like, my first French kiss and my first wet finger in the same day.
Nice.
Bam, at
Mission
12.
accomplished.
Was it sweet? Because she might have diabetes if it was.
It wasn't that kind of lettuce. But, what was I going to say? Oh, when did third base become oral?
I didn't know it was.
Yeah. Apparently it's regional, but I once mentioned that I got to third base on like a video. Like I did a whole video series of all my girlfriends, and actually I think I had a 5th grade girlfriend I made out with. But anyway, let's just go with that one. And someone I mentioned that I got into like third base, and they're like, "You got oral at 12?" And I did not get oral at 12.
No, that's it was always using your hands. I thought that was third.
Yeah, it's like skin on skin. Like digital penetration is probably the best third base. It's like that's as large as it got. Anything else?
That is third base in my book.
Yeah.
In mine too,
This is just
but
sex.
I'm going to go to Urban Dictionary and see what the kids are saying nowadays, because I think
first
we're all
base
out
is-
of date.
I guess first base was always for me was kissing. Second base was touching over the clothes of either the crotchal region, the buttocks, or the breasts, and then third base was under the clothes. Home run was you're doing the dirty.
Okay, so the most popular version of third base in Urban Dictionary refers to baseball. So let's skip that. The next most popular, with 5,300 upvotes, is what we're talking about. Basically fingering a girl or girl touching your junk. But the third most popular definition of third base is oral or hand job. Oh, no. Now the third, it does mention hand job, but it's fellatio for guys and cunnilingus for girls. I hope I pronounced that right.
That's a pretty advanced move, man, to be throwing that at the level of a triple. I don't know if I can get behind that. Because to me, the home run thing signified orgasm. That was why it was a home run, is because, you got home. That was you hit a home run because you finally got to come, and that was great. But anything before that,
But
you're
I
really
wouldn't
not
call
going to.
Is a blowjob a home run?
If it results in coming, yeah. To me.
I have my own thought on this, and it's not completely my own. I've heard it before, but people talk about when you lose your virginity, right? And they say for a straight couple, there's this very clear definition of losing your virginity, and that's when a penis goes in a vagina, right? That's the loss of a virginity. Some people put a little twist on it and say penis entering vagina and orgasm, right? For the guy, that's a virginity loss. If you just enter and don't really go long enough to finish, then that doesn't count, and whatever. I have my own thoughts on this, and I believe there are lots of stages of losing your virginity, and they are each sort of accurate. You don't lose your virginity one night. You lose your virginity in dribs and drabs over time. There will be some day where you lose your vaginal virginity. There will be a day where you might lose your anal virginity. There'll be a day where you lose your blowjob virginity. Your hand job virginity, right? Hand job isn't just a thing that teenagers do and settle for because real sex isn't on the table. Hand job is a thing that lasts through your entire life. It's one of the items on the menu. And when you share that moment with somebody, you have lost one of the parts of your virginity. That's my thought on losing your virginity. It's probably a 6-stage process. There are probably little things in there that I didn't think of. But it's not just the day a penis enters a vagina, or if you're gay, the day a tongue enters a vagina or a penis enters an anus. It's dribs and drabs. There's all sorts of different little things you do that make you lose that particular kind of virginity. That's my current thought on it.
Okay, I can get behind that.
Okay. All right.
Oh, I just saw Kyle had stepped out. I was hoping Kyle would step in. Yeah, it's. I like the different ideas because all or nothing, absolutely binary, just in that regard doesn't appeal to me because it's like, oh, I lost my virginity. Okay, and even then, what?
Like if
Why do we
you're
still
a girl
care about this?
and you've given blowjobs or you've had anal sex, but you claim to be a virgin, you know, on my book, you're just a vaginal virgin. You know, you've been around the road and those other things. Or if you go the other way, you know, if you've had vaginal sex but you haven't done those other things, then you are still a virgin, you know, to some of the items on the menu.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a way better way of looking at the whole V card than this, you know, this is the one act that turns it on or off.
Right, instead of like a movie stub, it's more like a punch ticket that you get at a sub joint. That's your V card. It's not like one you just hand over and it gets torn and no longer is it. It's a punch card with a bunch of things on it, and it's like, okay, well, what are we doing? Vaginal? Okay, here's it back. Put it back in your pocket.
Perfect. Wow. If I ever mention this again, I'm totally stealing that analogy. It's not a movie ticket. It's a Subway punch card.
There you go. See? That's why I'm brought on the show. That's why I'm here for things like that.
Kyle, do you want to hear my virginity rant?
Please.
The thought is that you don't lose your virginity the one day a penis enters a vagina, that you lose your virginity in dribs and drabs, that there will be a day you lose your hand job virginity, a day you lose your blow job virginity, perhaps your anal virginity, that all of these things are items on the menu, and that you lose your virginity over time and over acts. And if, for example, a girl has had anal sex and given blowjobs, she is not, in my mind, a full virgin, if for lack of a better term. She still has her vaginal virginity, but she is not, you know, a 100% virgin. According to Lefty, it's not a movie ticket where you just sort of tear it and it's on or off. It's a Subway punch card where there are a dozen acts and you lose your sort of virginity in dribs and drabs over time as you try sampling different items on the menu.
Yes and no.
All right.
What
then.
parts of the no?
There's just a difference. There's just a difference. Like there's you lose when a girl first has vaginal sex, she loses her hymen. There's a medical difference.
Not necessarily.
Yeah, necessarily.
Not necessarily. All hymens aren't created
she somehow
equally.
lost it previously through some horse riding lie.
Through some freak bicycle mistruth.
I want to know. Woody mentioned it. I want to know that girl gives blowjobs and does anal, but vaginal. No.
You gotta
I want to know.
find the
right
Christians,
past,
baby.
Right past the vag. She just goes,
It's
no.
more and more common these days.
What'd you say, Kyle?
I said that's more and more common these days, I think.
Yeah, and Kyle's from the
That
South,
sort of
where I think it
behavior.
happens more often. I think it's the girls who, or the Irish Catholic girls, who have like a strong attachment to their virginity through the church, but still want to get down.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, suddenly the Catholic girls are more interesting to you than the atheist girls, huh?
You know, they can believe in the boogeyman all they want. That won't matter when I'm going in the back door. It's like, aren't you afraid God will see us? Not really, baby. Let's do it.
We're good to go.
All right, get your Game of Thrones talk in. Everybody was really upset last week that it wasn't a part of the show.
I don't want to end the show yet.
You guys talk about Game of Thrones for like a half an hour. And apparently this was a big episode or something?
It was the final one. Yeah,
It was kind
the
of a big
season
deal.
finale happened, and the plot advanced. Arya is clearly leaving to become an assassin, which I saw
something.
all season long evolving. Right? That I'm like, man, she's becoming an assassin. She's becoming better and better at killing people, kind of ruthless. And even though she's a little thing, she just winning her fights. She's clever like that. Tywin was right about Tyrion's whore the entire time.
Yeah.
He's like, son, she's just a whore. Son, you can't trust her. Son, like she is not in love with you. She's a whore, and she's nothing more than a whore. And this whole time, I'm thinking, no, what they have is real. No, what they have is like a special relationship. He fell in love with her. She fell in love with him. She's risking her life from him. She's his counsel. She's his soulmate. The fucking whore fucked his dad. And
he strangled her to death with that necklace.
Damn straight.
That was great. And then he shot his fucking dad. That was great.
Now,
great
is his
episode.
dad dead? I think his dad's dead. Yeah.
Twice in the chest. That's he's
I
dead.
thought it was his shoulder. But yeah, I think we're supposed to know that he's dead. But
Wait, you say he shot? With an arrow.
a crossbow.
Crossbow.
Yeah.
Crossbow. Okay.
But yeah, it was just like all this time. And was she hired by the dad and set up the whole time?
It's hard to say.
And did he
Probably
say something
not.
about the first wife he fell in love with? Did we learn something?
Yeah,
about
there was that whole thing about how his dad had set up for him to like be with that other prostitute, and he married her, and then like he paid him to have sex with all the like men in the court or something. While Tyrion watched, and like she couldn't hold all the silver she had so much or something.
And even though she was married to him.
Mm-hmm.
And it pretty much happened again. Except this time he paid her and fucked her himself.
Sort of, yeah. Absolutely. It went really badly. So he killed them both.
Nice move. I approve.
And then Varys. The best part is like Varys is about to walk away from the boat as Tyrion's making his getaway, and the bells go off, and he's just like, "Oh, you really fucked some shit up, huh? Think I'll go too. Those are the bad bells."
I'm coming with you. Those are the bad
Yeah.
bells. And I like that character. He didn't get enough screen time this year.
I think he will next year. He looks like he's going to be Tyrion's companion, maybe, traveling to wherever the fuck they're going. Maybe they'll run into Arya. Maybe they're going back to Bravos. Maybe they're going to near, somewhere where the Khaleesi is, fucking wasting her time, being boring as shit and locking her dragons up.
Fuck you, Khaleesi. Dude, a year ago, Khaleesi was like OP. You're like, dude, she's got 8,000 sullied, a city worth of, like, sell swords.
Yeah,
She's got
2,000.
3 dragons and tons of money and a bunch of boats and maybe even a couple freaking Dragos left over or whatever
Yeah.
what were they called? What were the people called that she started with?
I don't know. Khal Drogo's people,
Yeah, the Kachas.
I don't know, the assholes.
And maybe even a couple of them still by her side. And it was like, she is so badass. She's OP, right? She's the MP40 of this game. Then she spends the next season. Dude, I don't even want to hear her titles. I've watched Game of Thrones, and it's like, all right, this one's 46 minutes long. Every second is precious. Welcome to Khaleesi, breaker of chains, mother of dragons, heir to the
Unburned.
throne. What was that?
The Unburnt, queen of the ocean of grass. And it's just like,
You're right. Blonde hair, 6'5", whatever the fuck she is. I don't care. And it's like, no, stop wasting 2 minutes with her intro. And then she takes like 7 minutes to preside over a dead goat or something. And I'm just like, how is this helping me? I get it. She's a crappy leader and she's in. Move on. Move on. It used to be I would thirst for the scenes with her in it. Now I want to move on. I want to move on. She sucks. She's a sucky character in a sucky world who doesn't do shit. The
worst
White
right
Walkers
now.
did more walking than she did this year.
yeah, she's the worst character to watch right now. But the mountain is apparently going to turn into like Franken Mountain.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be interesting. Bran took over Hodor again, whipped some ass.
Yes.
Apparently he's not going to walk, but he's going to fly, which
Is he
I'd
gonna
want some
get
more
like
specific-
big legit wings, or is he gonna like
I didn't think he meant
control
literally.
giant birds, or like? I hope he legit flies. I hope he has like
A broomstick?
atrophied Stephen Hawking legs and these like amazing hawk arms. And then he just like soars around with little legs dragging through the air that he can hardly control. And then every time he comes in for a landing, it's like, and he just smashes.
That's awful.
That would be awesome. That's what I want from Bran. I want him to just fly around for hours, hoping that no one's there to see the embarrassment of his terrible parallelic legs landing.
So that was a big scene. Those that little girl who's throwing the magic, she's
The
like
child
Ed
or
Stark's.
something.
Yeah, she's like Ed Stark's god. Like she's one of his gods. Like that's a god that's on screen.
And yeah, she's one of the original people, which apparently is important.
Like
Jon
the
Snow was
children of
pretty
the
badass.
forest.
Stannis came, rescued him to some extent.
Yeah, Stannis finally made it. He showed up with a real fucking army paid for by the Iron Bank, and he just kicked the shit out of everything in front of him. Just really
Stannis
mopped up.
was hardly in the Game of Thrones a year and a half ago, right? After he lost the Battle of Blackwater, he was a joke. He was broke. He was getting picked on by the other people, etc. And now Stannis is a leading candidate to win.
Yeah,
right?
the bank backed him.
The bank backed him. He
Now
defended
Tywin Lannister's dead.
He defended the Seven Kingdoms. Tywin Lannister's dead. Who's gonna? And Tywin Lannister was broke anyway. I don't know what's left there. Stannis is a candidate to win it, although we know he won't. It's gonna be the Starks.
Maybe not. Maybe the Tyrells will win it. It's hard to say.
Dude, you've got a kick-ass assassin who can kill anyone you want. You've got Jon Snow, who's probably going to be royalty of some sort. You know, surprise. You have, or if not, he's just going to lead the wall there, and you know he's already earned a leadership position among the men. You have Bran, supernatural power with no legs. You have who am I missing?
Sansa.
Oh, Sansa, who suddenly has become like a. She was always like clever enough to stay out of trouble, but now she's clever enough to create some, and that's exciting.
Yeah. She's got she's up there with Baelish, who's a creepy guy.
So,
And we also got the best fight I think that has been in the Game of Thrones. We got to see.
That was the episode before this one, right?
Oh, it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, you talking
Was
about the
it?
Mountain
No.
versus the Red Viper?
You sure that? No. The best fight was the Hound versus
Bree
what's
or
her
something.
name? Brienne.
Brienne, yeah. That's
That's
good
the best fight that has been in Game of Thrones.
You're right. Well, some would argue the Mountain versus the Red Viper
No
was
way.
as good.
This was better.
I think it was better too. I'm just saying it's not a hands down. That was an awesome
punched him in the
fight.
face with a rock and
That
threw him
was
off a mountain.
It bothered me a little bit that she ended up winning a fist fight with the Mountain.
She's enormous.
Not as enormous as him.
I guess not.
Yeah.
She did have a rock in her hand,
Fair
and
point.
she hit him a lot. She hit him like 5-6 times before he fell off that mountain.
Yeah, it was awesome. And then yeah, he begged Arya to kill him. That didn't work. He insulted Arya until he thought she'd want to kill him, and then she left him to die slowly because
Took his
she's
money and left
badass.
him.
Yeah, she took his money.
I didn't like that. I was like, kill him. Fuck. I think he's coming back.
I don't think so.
I don't think he's dead.
I think he is.
He's just 10 miles away from the Vale. Looks like maybe he get rescued, get taken back. Maybe he patches himself up. Why would they didn't show it though? You have to
Spoiler.
assume.
I saw an interview, and they said that he's meant to be dead.
Oh, that sucks. Thanks,
They-
Woody.
Yeah, I'm glad I could help. They said that there wasn't supposed to be a question that you were supposed to know he was dying, and it was supposed to show off her like resolve and ability to inflict, damage.
Wow. Well, that
So-
was dark.
Yeah, I know. For us, it wasn't meant to even be a spoiler. What I told you wasn't supposed to be a cliffhanger.
It was supposed to be implied.
It was supposed to be implied. I'm the worst at implying things. I'm terrible at it, but that one I read about.
Okay. And what else happened? Jon Snow burned Ygritte.
That was a waste of time.
Total waste of
Oh
time.
my god! Like that show was extra long. It was
and
like
it didn't
62
even make
minutes
sense
or
because,
something.
like, He was talking to that red-haired like barbarian general or whatever.
Yeah, the guy's like, they're dead. We don't care about it. Oh, by
Yeah,
the
and
way,
then-
give her a first-class cremation.
Yeah, it made no fucking sense. Jon Snow's asking him, he's like, are there any words you want said over your dead? And he's just like, the dead can't hear our words. It doesn't matter. They're fucking dead. And then they say a few more things, and they establish that Jon Snow cared about Ygritte, and he's like, she should be burned in the real north. And it's just like, wait, what the fuck? We just established that it doesn't matter because dead is dead. But now Ygritte needs to be taken north of the wall, like, on a journey that must have taken hours for Jon Snow to get all that wood together.
Oh.
That's an entire afternoon.
Dude, we did that survival trip. Our fire took hours.
Yeah.
That one must have been a day's worth of work.
That would have been. It really would have been. He's in the forest with an axe, but that was hours worth of work to build that huge bonfire. And then he's no, fuck that. I'd have burned Ygritte with the rest of the people. She was there to kill me,
Was she?
probably.
Yeah, we'll never know. I mean,
Shot
she
through
had the
the
chance.
heart,
And
you're to blame.
You
was
give
great.
love a bad name. You leave me hanging.
Bad
All right,
name.
all right.
Yeah, I was done.
So, yeah, I'll miss Ygritte. She was cool. She was one of the coolest characters in the show.
Grinley or whatever. He's still rowing.
Yeah, that's the internet thing. What was I gonna say? I don't know. Game of Thrones is good. I will say this year, I think there were like 5 middle episodes that were kind of dragged. Like the first 3 were awesome. Then there were 5, and then the last 2 were awesome.
Yeah, the last episode was really good, but
And the one
I really
before
wanted
with
to-
the mountain and the viper fighting, that was pretty good. And then the
I wanted
first
to
couple,
catch.
like when
I
they
wanted to catch up with a couple of different other characters, though. I wanted to know what was going on with Theon there at the very end.
I'm trying to remember, where'd we leave off with him? He had
He's-
just been obedient in some.
Yeah, they were going to
thing.
Winterfell. They're taking over at Winterfell.
Really?
The Boltons.
Jon
get
Snow needs to
Winterfell.
partner up with Stannis and take Winterfell back.
Yeah, I'm hoping that happens.
Yeah, and Stannis needs to reestablish his dominance over the Boltons.
Yes, he does. I'm sorry, I'm distracted. We should probably end the show soon.
Okay.
There's a half naked woman like walking around in the background, and I'm having a hard time.
All right then. Painkiller ready? Episode 186.
Go check out our Patreon.
Yes, check it out. Support us, and awesome things will be coming. I can't wait till this show has a budget. That'd be amazing.
Yes, it's gonna be very cool.
Patreon.com/PKA. Bye!